Not since the first game of the 2018 season had the Spartans of Bixby suffered a loss. The Muskogee Ruffers would like to complete the dream, the impossible dream. If you'll go back in your literature and remember the Man of La Mancha as the Ruffers come here tonight to Lee Snyder Stadium looking to knock off a football team that is just 6 wins shy of setting an all-time Oklahoma high school career winning streak number at 49. 43 straight for the Spartans, 7-0 this season, 4-0 in league play against the Muskogee Ruffers tonight, who are at 2-5 and 2-2 in league play here this season. Bill Huddleston here along with my broadcast friend Nick Hampton. And Nick, perhaps you call this the impossible mission or mission impossible, but for the Ruffers it's more about winning one position, one assignment at a time.
Well, it's a good learning experience for the Ruffers tonight, regardless of what happens, as the Spartans kind of on a relentless binge here to win their last 6A2 championship before they move up to 6A1 next year. So they have pretty much steamrolled just about everybody that they have played so far this year. So we'll see how the Ruffers do. It'll be a good learning experience, something that they will remember, maybe not always fondly, but something that down the line will be important to them, I think.
You can call me a homer, you can call me the eternal optimist, but until that clock goes to 0-0-0, there's still always an opportunity. Muskogee on the road tonight at Lee Snyder Stadium against the Spartans of Bixby, the number 1 ranked team in Class 6A2 football, and the 6-time state champion out of 7 seasons, which they finished runner-up in the only time they did not win the big gold ball. Back with our pregame countdown to kickoff, we give you a chance to meet 2 members of the Ruffer football family. The brothers Kennedy and Caden McGee will be our guest. That after this opening timeout. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Ruffers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a number 1 priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Ruffers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, go Ruffers! Each week in Ruffer Football, we give you a chance to meet a member of the Ruffer Football squad. Tonight, we're going to bring in the dynamic duo of number 23, Kennedy McGee, and number 8, Caden McGee. First of all, Kennedy, I'm going to turn to you. Mm-hmm. How tall, how fast are you?
5'10.5", and probably one of the fastest on the team.
Now, true serum question number 1. Caden, who's the fastest of the 2, Kennedy or you?
He got me out a little bit.
By a little bit?
Yeah.
Who's the most capable receiver of taking it to the house? Kennedy?
Caden. I give him that.
What does it mean to the 2 of you? Both of you are going to answer this question. What's it mean to the 2 of you to have a chance to play together on the same high school football team? First of all, we'll go to the older brother, Kennedy McGee.
It's fun. It's a good experience to have for my senior year.
Caden, how about you as the sophomore looking up to big brother? What's it like for you to have that one-on-one relationship with not only a teammate but also a guy that goes to the house every night with you?
It's great. We're really competitive against each other and stuff. So it's great playing with him and against him, competing every day in practice and stuff.
Now, is there that brother one-on-one competition? I mean, first of all, we talked about speed a moment ago. Who's the strongest of the 2 of you? Caden, I'll let you answer first.
Me.
Kennedy, is he telling me the truth?
Nah.
Not at all. Okay.
Nah.
Who's the better looking of the 2 of you?
Everybody knows it's me.
Kennedy, your answer?
I don't really care. He can have that.
He can have that. But wait a minute, guys. There's another McGee. You got a sister, Caitlin. Who's the best athlete of the 3? True serum, Caden.
Caden McGee.
Kennedy?
Kennedy McGee.
Now, if Caitlin were here, she probably would say, well, boys, I got this.
Yes.
Who's the best looking of the 3 of you? Because you guys have unique hairstyles, but she's also over there on the sideline firing up the squad.
Caitlin.
Me.
Never going to get an selfish answer from either one of these two guys. What do you feel like is the excitement of this season, Caden, for you?
Probably getting a start this year, and then with a new coaching staff, stuff like the new receiving coach and all that.
Kennedy, how about you? It's the last go-round for you.
Yeah, probably just playing with some of the people I've grown up with since kindergarten and just having this experience.
Now, what people can't see here because we're talking live stream and talking before the game is you guys spend an inordinate amount of time working on your own individual hairstyles. Kennedy McGee, how would you describe your hairstyle?
Just people know me by my hair. So, yeah.
Caden, who spends more time, him or you?
Me. He don't really do nothing to his hair.
Now, how would you describe your look?
Curly on top, then, gotta have fresh cut.
All right. Number 8, Caden McGee. Number 23, Kennedy McGee, the brothers that play rougher football here in 2021. Back with more of our countdown to kickoff. Travis Hills will be our guest. That after this timeout on Rougher Football 2021.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
It's a special time of the year at J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee. No tricks. I hope we get this right. Oklahoma, it's treats for trade-ins, and we need trade-ins. Come get a trade-in bonus up to $1,500 when you buy your new Chevy. No tricks. Get an appraisal at the dealership or at your home. Treats for trade-ins up to $1,500 extra. No tricks. J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, 144 West Shawnee.
Rougher Football tonight from Lee Snyder Stadium at Bixby. Muskogee against the top-rated Spartans of Bixby High School, who come in with a 42-game winning streak. Coach, 42 games, is that as old as you are?
I'm just going to say yes, so that way it looks good. Not quite, but man, ain't that a long time. No, that's a great run by Lauren and the Spartans. And if I'm correct and listen to the media well enough, that if they can win out this year, they would set the records that Wagner had just got a few years ago. So what a great deal for Lauren and his crew, and hopefully we can maybe offset that some way tonight.
Let's talk a little bit about the mindset of the Rougher Football team. I mean, last week, some unforced and unnecessary errors led to the setback against Choctaw, against a very good football team, but still an opportunity for winning. How have the kids responded in this week's practices? Well,
that's the key, and that's how you kind of put a direction on it, is how they perform in practice. Man, but we've had some great practices. We're excited. I mean, our kids are going out and continuing to get better, and we reinforce that every week. We get so caught up, and I think it can get overwhelming, especially for young people, about win. Well, if you just get better, you're giving your best chance to win. So we have got better all week. We've had some great practices. Of course, the weather's been perfect for us and everything else, but very happy with the tempo of our practice.
I have to think that tonight, as much as X's and O's, it's about Muskogee coming into Lee Snyder Stadium with not a thought of fear.
Yeah.
In other words, not to be intimidated by the 42-game winning streak, not to be intimidated by the X number of time defending state champions.
Sure.
It's about going out and playing with confidence.
Yep. I hope, sometimes whenever you start talking about coaching philosophy and everything, you've been doing as long as I, there's really not secrets, but some things you kind of like keeping to yourself a little bit about how to handle things, but you'd hate for some of these young coaches to get a hold of that and have a little success, but being realistic here, it's called honesty. And we're very, very honest with our kids. So we broke it down a little bit for them. Instead of going out and playing Bixby, we're going to go out and play individuals. So each individual has another individual in front of them, and that's who you need to defeat. Not the Bixby Spartans, that guy. And so if we broke it down and made it a little bit more simpler and let them look at their position, the guys that they're going to have to compete against, as we have all week, I think our kids have got a little confidence and a little bit more realistic understanding of what they're trying to do. And we all say, well, that's not team. Well, team starts with I. I mean, a lot of people, they don't use that, but it's true. You start with each individual, and they make a decision to support the team. So that's what we're asking them to do, Bill. And I think that we'll win some of those wars.
We're going to break it down even further and go in the offensive locker room with Chris Reisenhoover for his offensive game plan about being able to score against Bixby. And then a little bit later on, Steve Craver will give us some defensive game plan strategy in slowing down the Spartans offense that can put a lot of points on the scoreboard. That when our pregame countdown to kickoff continues, that after this timeout on Rougher Football 2021.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back on Rougher Football 2021 in the offensive locker room with coordinator Chris Reisenhoover. Coach, tonight you go against a defense in Bixby that is, I don't want to say dominating, but they are very physical and they get to the football in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some good defenses up to this point, so I thought Sand Springs had some great personnel and did a great job with their scheme. Same thing with Choctaw last week had some kids that were really high-level football players for the high school field. But in totality, this whole group that we're getting ready to see tonight, just, front seven to the back end, all of them just play like their hair's on fire and excellent tacklers. Very few plays that I've seen anybody run really come out with much success. There might be something there quick where you think they have a play and then it closes up in a hurry. So just 11 guys out there on the football field that play the game right, and very talented crew. Of course, they have a lot of momentum going on in their programs, so it'll be a big time challenge.
The offense has continued to improve. The passing game has continued to be consistent. You've been able to not only get good plays from Jamarian Ficklin. Last week you had Jacob Jones have to come in and take a series down the field, but you've been getting better receivers, better running. But still tonight you're in an offensive line set that has kind of been put together with sticks and glue.
Yeah, I'm really happy with where we're at as a program, on the offensive side. Very satisfied with what we've gotten this year up to this point with, a young freshman quarterback and then, a couple of sophomores in our receiving crew and a lot of young kids up front on the O-line. Really happy with what I'm seeing and playmaking ability and all that thing and with what we're getting done, but in the end, the future is extremely bright. We know that. Our offensive line is kind of like my career. I'm not real lucky. We keep losing kids left and right, and that thing has not gelled enough to where we're able to, create many gaps up there for what I really believe is one heck of a high school running back, Brandon Tolbert. So, again, we're going to be without Vernon. We're going to be without, Henry this week, who I feel like is going to be one excellent high school football player. It'll probably be next year until we really become that type of offensive line that can give us the balance that we're looking for. And if that happens, then we're going to be hard to handle.
Chris, let's talk about what you do offensively. What kind of game plan can you initiate against Bixby to take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves to be able to not just move the football, keep the drive going, and put points on the scoreboard?
Well, I think Coach Hill's kind of, said it right. There's some individual matchups that the kids just have to take it upon themselves to make some plays. We had some success against Bixby in the Owasso 7-on-7 earlier this summer. Didn't get to win, but it was like, a 35-28 type deal. So we put some points on the board, and they were giving us some one-on-one matchups, and our receivers made some plays. So it'll have to be the same thing this evening. Of course, now you throw in a kind of weakened offensive line that we have against a very talented front with them. So the ball's got to be out quick. It's not going to be a 4-second type situation that we get in those 7-on-7s. So we've worked this week of, taking care of Bird. I've asked him, let's make sure we don't take a sack. I don't care if the ball has to be thrown away or whatever. Let's not take a bunch of shots. And then, you'll see Walker Newton come in at times to give us a little bit of gun run. But I would be just in all reality, all truthfulness, us having an ability, even with the quarterback run game, to be able to move the football and up and down the field like we want to, and get into the end zone with the running game is just next to impossible with where we're at up front. It's going to happen down the road, but it's next to impossible right now. So we'll have to make some plays with the Caden McGees and the Watsons and the Bells and Givens. And winning some of those individual and maybe even get a little lucky every now and then and break a tackle and take one to the house. So excited about the opportunity though. This is a defense that Jinx is the only team that scored more than 14 points and they scored 15. So I would take 21, which I normally wouldn't say, but I'd take 21 and have a big old smile on my face at the end of the night if we can get there.
Chris Reisinger with some offensive thoughts about tonight's opponent, the Bixby Spartans. We'll come back with Steve Craver, who's got the mission impossible, well, maybe not, against stopping the Bixby Spartan offense. Talk with Coach Craver after this time out of Rougher Football 2021.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
Having a good time is an American tradition, and at James Hodge, we're proud Americans. Now is the greatest time to get together, get out, and get away, no matter where the open road takes you. Your journey starts at James Hodge, an authentic part of Oklahoma for over 50 years. Get in a perfect ride at James Hodge Ford.
The James Hodge Ford Promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee, online at hodgeford.com. Welcome back on Rougher Football tonight from Lee Snyder Stadium in Bixby. Bill Huddleston in the locker room with defensive coordinator Steve Craver. Steve, I think when I watch television, I must turn it on at the right time or the wrong time because they'll always come on with that once a day or once a month. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. I think tonight for the Muskogee Ruffers defense, this is a test of the emergency Ruffer defense.
There ain't no doubt about it. This is probably the best team we've faced all year. But I think as far as, getting that information to the kids, we want to just take it day by day, game by game. And so we're steady focusing on, getting lined up in the fundamentals of football, and hopefully schematically we'll be able to contain them a little bit more.
So far this season, nobody has been able to really slow this offense down. And we've seen it throughout the district competition, big numbers put up on the scoreboard. Brandon Presley is a key to that. But it's not just Presley that you have to be concerned about. It's those one-on-one matchups at all 11 positions.
There is absolutely right, Bill. I think as far as focusing on Presley, we know everything goes through Presley. We know they're going to get him the ball early and often, and we're going to try to contain him by keeping him in front. But we also got to do our job also all across the football field. So I talk about doing your 1/11th, and that means doing your job, executing your call, executing your matchup, and focusing on that. And I think if we get 11 guys doing that week in and week out, that'll make us a better defense.
Whether they go the tight end Haas or whether they use the quarterback run game, who has shown that he's got the ability to pull it and go, you got to, like you said, know where all 11 kids are wearing those blue helmets.
Absolutely. It's a strong football team. I don't think anybody on that football team lives under 225 on a power clean. And so we have to respect them all. They run hard. They run strong. They don't blow many assignments. We're going to have to play our best game that we played all year long, and hopefully that will get us a W at the end of the game.
Steve, is there something that you can do scheme-wise or personnel-wise that you can find an advantage tonight?
Yeah, keep it simple. I think there's a couple of coverages that we feel like we can lean on. Also, front-wise, we feel like that four-man front can give us the best chance to stop the run. We want to stop the run. we're not really worried about the pass. I mean, we want to get them one-dimensional, but the first thing, the key will be tonight is stopping the run and controlling Presley that way. And then if they get into their passing formations, now we can be creative.
Let's go win and pass that emergency broadcast system test.
Let's do it.
Steve Craver, defensive coordinator for the Muskogee Ruffers, back with more Rougher Football 2021 winning strategy, brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law, with Travis Hill after this time out of Rougher Football 2021. Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Ruffers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
Hi, welcome to Nissan of Muskogee.
Here in Muskogee, I mean, we're just 45 minutes from Tulsa, but us being family owned, I mean, like I said, the customers feel like family too.
What makes Nissan of Muskogee different? It's our people and a driving desire to surpass the expectations of our customers.
We care, and that's why they come to us.
Become a part of the family and let our people take care of you. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Welcome back on Rougher Football Inside the Locker Room, back with head coach Travis Hill. I'm Bill Huddleston. Time for tonight's winning strategy, brought to you by the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty. Coach, do you need a legal representation tonight against this powerhouse in Bixby?
It wouldn't hurt anything. Now, it would be nice to be able to have some type of representation there to go over there and whisper in some ears over there. But no, the deal is, I talked about the individual matchups, and I'll continue to come to that. Then you take this, the whole team, win your individual matchups, take care of the football. Let's steal a possession if we can. We have some ideas on how to try to do that. Anytime you can steal a possession, keep possession. Let's work some time management off the clock and see if there's some way, like I said, that we can be in a position to win the small wars, which may add up to some success.
It's about, like we've already mentioned, and not trying to just continue to labor on the point, but it's still about having your own self-confidence and making your heart force your reaction physically.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised in what we're saying is just to make it a little easier, a little documentation. Are you going to go out and play hard? And I freaking expect to play hard, Bill. Yeah, I expect to do that. I expect our kids to fight every down, win, lose, or draw.
When the Ruffers go on the field tonight, it's all about the gi. Give everything, every play.
No doubt. Great saying. Works quite often. You can apply it to everything you do in life.
Head coach Travis Hill with tonight's winning strategy, brought to you by the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty. Back with this week's Health of the Ruffers that has an entirely different picture than from a week ago. We'll have Leo Kraski as our guest after this timeout on Rougher Football 2021.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
It's a time when uncertainty spreads faster than understanding. It's also a time when taking steps to prepare can help us all find a sense of security. At ServPro, helping our nation's homes, businesses, and shared spaces be more clean, be more safe, is why we're here. Here in your community, here to help.
Back on Rougher Football 2021 in the locker room with the athletic trainer for the Muskogee Ruffers, Leo Kraski. You've been a busy man this week, Coach, because trying to keep all the pieces put back together. Humpty took a big fall.
Yeah, a lot. We had a lot of them. But you think about it from the seasonal standpoint, it was our first real physical game we've had in a while. I mean, all the other games, don't get me wrong, they're football games. You get physical, but Choctaw especially, it was a very physical game. So it's not surprising that the number of injuries we had.
When you have that type of injuries, some are injuries that don't leave you any choice to put them on the sideline, but how have you and your staff been able to recondition these athletes both physically and mentally to be ready to go tonight, even if it's limited?
That's one of the things we do. I have a good relationship with Coach Hill. Those that cannot do running conditioning, there are other ways we can do conditioning without putting the stress on their body, whether it be on our stationary bike, our elliptical, our kettlebell workouts, calisthenic-oriented type of workouts. Excuse me, I apologize. There's a number of different ways we can do conditioning. The main thing is stressing the system. It's not necessarily, running the legs. To be honest, a lot of times I do like to do conditioning where we don't have to run the legs a lot. That way their legs are fresher for the game. But there are plenty of ways we can do conditioning without directly just running and doing sprints.
Ruffers tonight have some guys that cannot go, some guys that possibly can go at least for a few plays. Leo will give us the health of the Ruffers after this time out for Excel Physical Therapy on Rubber Football 2021.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Back with Leo Kraske, Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Leo, we talked about injuries that will prohibit players from going tonight. Who are some of those guys that will not see action? And then those that may have some snaps available, you'll just be under your watchful eye.
Well, Vernon with his knee, he's feeling good, but like I said, we want him, once again, we're being careful about it. I don't want to rush. Excuse me, Braden Henry, like I said, he's coming back from our concussion protocol. Keyshawn Lee, same thing, going through our concussion protocol. As far as limited, we have a few. Keandre Johns, like I said, he has that bone bruise. Like I said, he's feeling much, much better. But once again, that's a weight-bearing bone. You go out there and start running a whole lot during the game. It's just going to irritate it again, and he could end up being in the same boat next week. Israel Martin, same thing. But he's feeling much, much better as well. So he could also see limited reps.
Another guy that's made continual improvement all week long, even though at the start of the week he was almost ruled out, Latavian Johnson.
Yes, he has come along very, very good. Like I said, we've been gradually going back. Once again, an example, we talked about our conditioning aspect. Rather than have him do sprints, we can irritate that big toe with all those sprints. I can have him do a kettlebell, a bike workout. I can get the conditioning workout I need without putting the stress on that toe. And that's a big thing, especially with turf toe.
Last week, of course, it was extremely humid. Tonight it's going to be a little bit cooler than what we've been accustomed to. Does that change what you have to have the guys ready to go?
No, it actually is more sneaky as far as that. When it's hot, it's very easy to get the kids to, hey, you got to drink water. You got to drink plenty of water. You got to drink plenty of fluids, this type of stuff. When it gets cool, they don't think about it as much. You actually tend to have cramps a little bit more often when it gets cooler because people don't think about it. You've actually got to get on them a lot more. It's like, listen, I know it's cool. I know you're feeling good. You still got to drink. Cool air, it's going to dehydrate you. You got to drink. So it's more of a sneaky aspect rather than a direct, oh yeah, I see the correlation now. We've got to really stay on them as far as their fluids throughout the day, before the game, the whole 9 yards.
Leo Kraske with Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Back with more Rubber Football tonight from Bixby. Ruffers on the road against the Spartans. We're back after this time out on Rubber Football 2021. Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Ruffers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a number one priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Ruffers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, go Ruffers!
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
73 degrees and a cooling breeze as the sun sets to the west behind Lee Snyder Field Stadium press box. For Rubber TV tonight, though, we are on the 50-yard line with a bird's eye view of all the action from the home side of the Muskogee Ruffers as they travel tonight here to take on the Bixby Spartans. Nick, there's been a lot said about this football program at Bixby since the split to 6A2. Bixby has reached the state championship game all 7 years. They've won 6 gold balls, 2014, 15, 16, 18, 19, and 20. Looking for number 4 this season, looking to extend a 43-game winning streak tonight against the Ruffers and hopefully continue that on all the way to another state championship, and in doing so break the all-time 11-man football record for most consecutive victories set by Wagner just a couple of seasons ago at 48. A win in the state finals and an undefeated trip to that game would mean 49 for Lauren Montgomery's football program. But it is a tradition-rich program. It is a talented program, and it will be a uphill struggle for the Ruffers tonight here against Bixby.
Bixby's one of those programs that you hear and talk about that they don't ever run out. They just kind of reload every year. And if you look at their roster, I think the quarterbacking situation probably shows that as much as anything. Young man named Christian Burke is the quarterback this year. Didn't see a lot of action, played backup last year for the most part, but already this year he has 1,735 yards through the air. Bixby much more of a passing team this year than they have been in the past, but they also feature, of course, the running of Oklahoma State University commit Braylon Presley, and he has about 1,400 yards total between receiving and rushing. So a very versatile team, and they just kind of reload every year and keep on rolling.
I think what Jinx and Union used to call it in their days of glory, not that they're anything less than what they used to be, program kids. It's the program players, along with a star or two, that made that tradition-rich program what it is and what it is here at Bixby. For the Muskogee Ruffers, it's the building of a foundation of expected success, and Travis Hill talked about that in his mindset approach with his football team here tonight. It doesn't take much, and the kids are equally as smart as the coaches when it comes to looking at scores and seeing all the media hype about Bixby. But Travis Hill and his coaching staff's challenge to the guys wearing the green and white tonight was not to go out and try to beat the team, but go out and think about your one-on-one assignment. Jaden Bell against his defensive back. Other players doing their job, whether that's Devin Whitfield whipping the man across the offensive line from him and doing his job as an offensive lineman, or whether it's one of the linebackers, whomever it might be wearing the green and white from Muskogee tonight, winning your individual battle, and then as a culminating group being able to put points on the board and stay in this challenge. But it will be a major task for the Ruffers here tonight, because there's no way to ignore the fact Bixby is a real good football team.
And the Ruffers also playing a little bit bunged up tonight. They've got several players that are out. Vernon Pepiakata still out. He's been out for 2 or 3 weeks now with an injury. Keyshawn Lee and Braden Henry both out. The Choctaw physical group last week really took its toll on the Ruffers, so those 3 are out. Keandre Johns, Deshaun Smith, and Latavian Johnson also playing limited duty tonight.
It is Bixby and Muskogee tonight from Lee Snyder Stadium. We return after this 2-minute timeout. It'll be just about time to get the game underway as the Ruffers take on the number 1 ranked Spartans of Bixby tonight. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton here with you on Ruffer TV. We're back in 2 minutes. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times, when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
It's a special time of the year at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. No tricks. I hope we get this right. Oklahoma, it's treats for trade-ins, and we need trade-ins. Come get a trade-in bonus up to $1,500 when you buy your new Chevy. No tricks. Get an appraisal at the dealership or at your home. Treats for trade-ins up to $1,500 extra. No tricks. J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. 144 West Shawnee.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back on Rupper TV tonight from Lee Snyder Stadium in Bixby. Muskogee on the road against the Spartans here in a all-important district showdown. Nick, we talked about the success of Bixby, but for the Muskogee Ruppers tonight, this is one of those games that, while no one expects it to be a possible upset brewing, this is a ball game that if you do that, you have catapulted yourself back into the playoff picture. Right now, the Ruppers are almost on the outside looking in.
They're going to have divine intervention this evening because they've got to win either this game or next week against Washington pretty much to have a chance to be able to break into that playoff mold. So they're playing for big things. But as you said, and Travis Hill talked about in his pregame, this is a game that the Ruffers kind of look to the future. This is a very young team. We've got to remember that. People look at it and say, well, they're 2-5, but they're such a young team, freshmen, sophomores, predominantly in the skill position. So this is a team for the future, and this will be a learning experience for them tonight to go against this well-skilled and well-oiled Bixby machine.
It is week number 8 of high school football. It is week number 5 of the district slate, and for the Ruffers, it's the second of a 3-game schedule against the big names in the conference. Choctaw last week, Bixby tonight, and then next week on the road at Booker T. The captain's out at the center of the field. Bixby won the toss. Ruffers will receive as Bixby will defer their choice to the second half. We mentioned the other district matchups. Bartlesville is at Putnam City West. Ponca City is at S.E. Williams Stadium against Tulsa, Washington. And then Choctaw and Sand Springs. Nick, that could be an interesting football game.
Could be, and that will have some playoff implications possibly for anywhere from second to fourth place in the district. So those two teams going at it. Choctaw was pretty impressive last week, so we'll see how they do against the Sandites.
Bixby at 43 games and counting. And Nick, that's all the way, like I said earlier, that's all the way back to the very first game in 2018 since Lauren Montgomery's football team has come up on the short end of the scoreboard. And here this season, they've taken no prisoners. They've been like the old pirates storming the ship. They leave no survivors. An offense that's averaging 534 yards a game, run offense at 247, 287 through the air. On the season altogether, 55 touchdowns, 33 on the ground, 22 through the air. And of course, their go-to main man is the guy who wears the number 1, Braylon Presley, a 5'10", 165-pound senior. Already with 667 yards, 11 scores on the ground, or that's through the air, 41 for 513 and 5 touchdowns. So altogether 16 touchdowns scored by Braylon Presley. And I'm impressed to think back to the Choctaw game that I saw the video of when you saw on the very first play Choctaw lined up defensively and Presley took it 75 yards to the house. There was a holding penalty, brought it back on the very next play. That's when Christian Burke hooked up on the passing route back to BP, and he did the same thing. So it will be a big uphill battle tonight for the Muskogee Ruffers, but that's why you play the game, and that's why you hope to see the fight of the Muskogee Ruffers here tonight against the Bixby Spartans. As the acronym says, pack the Gee, or welcome to the Gee. Give everything, every play is the message that Travis Hill and his coaching staff have preached to the men tonight that will be wearing the road uniforms of all white with the green numerals and that flat green helmet with the numbers and the big block M on the side. Ruffers will receive the opening kick, so we'll set our offensive lineup tonight. And Nick, for Muskogee, the big challenge may be how well the replacements play in the offensive line with the absence of Vernon Papiakata, Keyshawn Lee, and Braden Henry. 3 out of the 5 regular starters in the offensive front line sideline tonight will not play. That means we're going to see across the front from tackle to tackle. Jace Garrett on the right side at one tackle. Devin Whitfield will be the right guard. James Moore will be at center. Keenan Adams has moved over to play left guard. And Tion Brewer will play left tackle, but he'll also play defensive tackle, Nick. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the young sophomore to have to play a lot of football on both sides of the line.
So the referees will have to go this evening, and we might see Jamarian Ficklin rolling out a little bit more, trying to stretch that pockets to avoid any kind of a rush, since his line will be maybe a little bit weaker this week. So we'll have to see. With DeAndre Johns out, it'll be Kennedy McGee back deep to receive, along with Jaden Bell for the Roughers. And so we're just about set to get this one underway as Connor Nolan tees it up for the Spartans.
Our referee tonight, Todd Ragsdale, and his crew set to blow the whistle, and we are underway as Nolan will approach an end-over-end kick toward McGee. He'll backpedal to the 8, take it, come straight up the middle of the 15, out across the 20, and that's where he's wrapped up and smothered to the turf at the 21-yard line. So the Roughers will start their first offensive series from their own 21-yard line as we've started quarter number 1 tonight here on the road. Rougher football again this season, brought to you in part by Cornerstone Funeral Home, J. Hodge Chevrolet, by Bravado Wireless, and by Pioneer Abstract.
Brandon Tolbert checks in. He'll be the running back for the Roughers out of this set, with the freshman quarterback Jamarian Ficklin there calling the signals. Let's see what kind of strategy the Roughers will try to employ here on the offense.
Roughers will put twin receivers out to the left. Ficklin in the pocket, sets up, a little underneath bubble screen, taken by Tolbert out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. All the influence was going to the left side. The pass went back underneath to Tolbert, and he brings it upfield from the 21 to the 27, a gain of 6, second down and 4.
Well, that little bubble screen was pretty effective last week in several instances against Choctaw, so we may see quite a bit more of that.
Watson, Gibbons, and Bell will be the trio of receivers to the left side. Twins are out as it's an empty backfield for Bird. The left-handed freshman quarterback going to stretch the field, looking for Gibbons downfield, and a pass a little bit over the outside hand. It's intercepted and then fumbled, and the Spartans will pick it up. Gibbons will get up and try to find somebody to tackle. And dancing around in the backfield is Dylan Haas. Haas was one-on-one with Gibbons. The pass a little bit overthrown behind the back shoulder of Gibbons, who had a step inside, but the pass went to the outside. Haas with the INT. Roughers turn it over, and Bixby will have the first possession of the night from their 24-yard line. 11:04 to go here in the opening quarter. No score. Scoreboard update brought to you by Kyle Edwards Buick GMC.
Haas played that very well. He was right on the shoulder of the receiver down there. Pretty well thrown ball by Ficklin, but not good enough.
Braylon Presley will be in the backfield. Now they shift over to Liv Burke, more in a shotgun formation with slots either side. They'll pitch it, come to the right side, giving it off to Presley, try to get around the corner, got a big block on the edge, turns, redirects his position, and will weave his way between would-be tacklers out to the 34-yard line before Walker Newton is able to make the stop. Now quickly, tempo offense for the Spartans. Trips go wide to the right and twins to the left. Empty pocket underneath bubble screen, taken by Blankenship across the 35, dances out on one tackler, spins upfield across the 40 and out to the 44-yard line.
So just like that, bang, bang, 2 first downs for the Spartans on 2 plays.
Tion Brewer, one of the first green numbered jerseys for the Roughers, in to make the stop, but it's 1st and 10 Bixby. Burke passes it out in space. Presley with a blocker out in front, turns the corner 50, down the sideline 40, cuts into the middle of the field to 30, jukes another tackler at the 20, still on his feet at the 10, the 5, he'll go to the house, touchdown Bixby.
Wow.
56-yard pass play. A lot of that just on the juice and the quickness of the man who wears number 1, Oklahoma State University commit, Braylon Presley.
Very well thrown, little ball out there, and Presley did the rest with his speed, and boy, he turned it on. He had several fleet-footed Roughers after him.
So the 56-yard dance, now the Spartans try to go for 2 and will come up short on the quick snap and the toss. Incomplete on the 2-point conversion. Timeout on the field. 10:27 to go, quarter number 1. It is Bixby 6, Muskogee nothing. We're back in 30 seconds on Rougher Football 2021.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers, developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
I'd like to thank Mabry Bank, family owned and locally operated since 1924, providing tailored services to meet your individual needs.
Welcome back to Lee Snyder Stadium. If you were late getting to the seat and tuning it in, you missed an electrifying start. Ruffers on a long pass up the field intended for Gibbons, picked off by Dylan Haas. And 3 plays later, it's the combination Christian Burke to Braylon Presley. CB to BP for 6 points for the Spartans. And now with 6 points on the scoreboard, the Spartans will tee it up and Connor Nolan will kick it away. Line drive kick toward Bell at the goal line. He'll bring it out up the middle of the field, trying to find some crease. Has him 15, 20, and he'll be scissored and tackled at about the 20-yard line. Getting there quickly for Bixby on the coverage was Caleb Rogers.
The Ruffers will start just about where they did on their first possession. I think they'll spot it at the 21, so 1st and 10 for the Ruffers. See if we have a little better result offensively this time after the interception.
Well, the last pass by Ficklin was his 7th pass interception of the season. He had Gibbons in stride, but the pass went to the outside shoulder, and Gibbons was looking to the inside and has made the great play. So now twin receivers go wide right, Tolbert in the backfield. Little counter handoff inside through a crease. This is Tolbert out across the 20, shakes tackle, 25-30, out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Nice adjustment that time by Brandon Tolbert. Stiff-arming would-be tacklers. Finally able to make the stop. Cale Fugate, the junior cornerback in the Bixby defensive scheme. A gain from the 21 to the 37, 16 yards, and a J. Hodge Chevrolet Ruffer 1st down and 10.
Tolbert making a nice move out there as he came to the wide side, planted that right foot, and then came back to his left and avoided a couple of tacklers and got some more yardage.
Caden McGee outside the hash mark. McGibbons inside. He'll come in motion across the formation. They'll counter. Back in the pocket goes Ficklin. He's under pressure, being chased. Throws upfield underneath and threw it up really dangerously, Nick.
Yes, for sure.
Because Watson was an underneath receiver. McGee was trying to come back, but that time Ficklin was dancing, trying to just avoid a sack.
Well, that's what we talked about. Will the line be able to protect him with some of those guys out tonight? And that's one that the young freshman quarterback will look at and say, maybe I shouldn't have thrown that ball because that was dangerous out there. It was up for grabs to be picked again.
Ruffers this time will go empty backfield. Trips go wide right. Ficklin, blitz coming up the middle. Throw the ball up for grabs, looking for Bell down the boundary. Over his shoulder, he can't hold on to it. He was matched up one-on-one with Jacob Snyder, and the pass just tumbles off the fingertips of Jaden Bell, who had space to go.
He had it for just a second. Very nicely thrown that time by Ficklin, just kind of like a fade route. He just lobbed it down there and let Bell run under it. And he had it for just a moment, but good defensive play to knock it loose.
2nd down and 10 from the 37-yard line. Clock showing 10:02 as it stops on the incomplete forward pass. Ruffers this time will send K.D. Warren along with Bell and Caden McGee to the far right. Watson split out to the boundary, short side left. Now Ficklin trying to find some running room, scampering to his right, looking to run or throw, slings a pass upfield into double coverage, is tipped over the outstretched hand of the Ruffer receiver, but again, just good coverage, double team coverage downfield, and the Ruffers really that time, Nick, fortunate that one didn't go awry.
Really was. They had the receiver double covered there, and the ball was tipped, and Bell made a lunge for it back there. He was behind the play. He made a lunge for it, but he couldn't quite catch up with it either, and so the Ruffers will punt for the first time tonight.
Dylan Haas will be back to stand inside his 30 to take the snap from one bear. The snap is back, and the kick is up, and it's kind of off the side of his foot. Kind of a shank-type kick. It'll take a Muskogee bounce and hop out of bounds at the 46-yard line where Bixby will take over, 1st down and 10.
17-yard punt for one bear.
Nick, we've called the name of Dylan Haas a couple of times. His brother Luke Haas, one of the top-rated tight ends in the country, a commit to the University of Oklahoma. Dylan and Luke, though, have Muskogee roots. Their mom, Stacy, when she was in high school, played basketball and tennis for Muskogee High School. Old-time Ruffers might remember the name of Stacy Fargo. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Burke out of the shotgun. Got a quarterback keeper, comes straight ahead with a blocker in front, 50, 45, dances out to the edge, stiff arms the tackler at the 30, at the 20, and it's going to be Burke down the boundary. He's going to run it past everybody in a white jersey all the way to the end zone. Are they going to say he stepped out of bounds? Yes, at the 1 yard line. Just a quarterback keeper, and Christian Burke with a blocker in front knew exactly where that goal line was. He steps out of bounds right short of the pylon. A 55-yard scamper to the end zone. Now a direct snap ball fumble picked up on the quarterback keeper straight ahead. He's not going to get there. That's Connor Kirby on the carry. So Montgomery rotating quarterbacks here early. Football inside the 1 yard line. Spartans already with a score on the board on their first possession. Now trying to again go quickly and find offense. Connor Kirby out of the shotgun, takes the snap, straight ahead, has a block, stood up at the goal line, but his forward progress will break the plane, and the junior quarterback rushes in for his 12th, make it 13th touchdown of the year with 9:01 to go here in quarter number 1.
Well, the Bixby Spartans so far just doing it very workmanlike like they have all season long, averaging 59 points a game on the season.
So now the PAT to follow. Good snap, ball's down, kick splits the uprights, and there's timeout on the field. Bixby with 2 possessions and 2 trips to the end zone with a 13-0 lead over the Muskogee Roughers. We're back in 30 seconds here on Rougher Football 2021.
Having a good time is an American tradition, and at James Hodge, we're proud Americans. Now is the greatest time to get together, get out, and get away, no matter where the open road takes you. Your journey starts at James Hodge, an authentic part of Oklahoma for over 50 years. Get in a perfect ride at James Hodge Ford.
The James Hodge Ford promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee, online at hodgeford.com. Welcome back to Lee Snyder Stadium here tonight on Rougher TV. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Rougher broadcast crew. And Nick, you see the explosiveness of this offense. They can do it with Presley, but they can do it with Burke. They can do it with Kirby. They can do it in a variety of ways. That's the reason why they come in averaging 59 points a ball game.
They just have so many weapons.
Line drive kick. Back to Kennedy McGee, comes straight ahead, 20, uses his quickness, 25-30, cuts back into the middle of the field, will be hit from behind and pushed to the turf. But a nice return by Kennedy McGee out to the 36-yard line, where the Roughers will start their 3rd offensive series here in quarter number 1. Still 8:55 to play in the opening 12. Bixby already with the Baker's dozen 13-0 lead over the Roughers. Scoreboard update brought to you by Kyle Edwards Buick GMC.
Roughers will have the best start of the night so far in their 3rd possession. We got a penalty there on the play, though.
On the return, a flag was thrown at about the 25 for a hold. That'll back it up to the 15, where Muskogee will start 1st and 10.
Ouch.
And you get a little bit of a break on the return, and then you penalize your own self. And that's the type of mistakes that are not acceptable if you have any hopes of competing against this tradition and powerful football program, Bixby. So now Ficklin out of the shotgun. Receiver right, hands it off. Tolbert coming to the left, tries to bounce that off the edge and gets stood up right about the line of scrimmage. Just kept floating to the boundary, Nick. He's going to have to turn it north and south in a hurry because this is a pursuing, aggressive defensive unit.
Yeah, we'll give Tolbert 1 yard on the play. That's about it, though.
Out to the 16-yard line, 2nd and 9. Roughers on the road here tonight against Bixby. 1 week from tonight, go on the north side of Tulsa to S.C. Williams Stadium to take on the Hornets of Booker T. Washington. And then we'll come home on the first Friday night in November for the final game at Idiot Bowl on senior night against Ponca City. Quick snap, out in space, caught by Watson to 15, runs past the tackle at the 20, out across the 25, goes the sophomore tight end, Anthony Watson, all the way upfield to the 28-yard line, 12-yard pickup. J. Hodge Chevrolet, Muskogee Rougher, 1st down and 10.
That's a nice play. And again, that little bubble screen, just a quick release, and then Watson does the rest with some nice running.
That's pretty good effort that time by Anthony Watson, the 5'11", 200-pound sophomore. Young man's getting a great deal of experience this season and making the best of it. Now Gibbons, along with Caden McGee, will be to the right. Bell, as Ficklin drops back in the pocket. Underneath, passed on again to Watson on that little underneath release. And he's quickly smothered by the aggressive-minded defense of the Bixby Spartans. Cale Fugate, one of the first blue jerseys in to stop Watson after the pickup to the 31-yard line, a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
I think that's what the referees probably are going to have to try to do because, hey, Ficklin's got to get rid of that ball because Bixby will really put the pressure on. Get the ball out, little bubble screens, and then let the receivers see what they can do with yards after the catch.
Caden McGee, Jaden Bell, and Isaiah Gibbons will be the trio of receivers to the left, or to the right, rather. Ficklin in an empty backfield, running to elude defense, throws it upfield, and got it in the vicinity of his receivers. He's being chased from behind. McGee was the intended target, but there was just not much to do there because of the pursuit of the defense of the Spartans. Jack Puckett, one of the first guys that got into the face of Bird and forced that early release. Yeah. Incomplete, 3rd down and 7.
He got to McGee. He got to Ficklin's feet just as he got rid of the ball and caused the ball to kind of float out to the sideline, incomplete.
Ruffers have to get upfield to the 38-yard line to move the chains. Tolbert to the right of Ficklin. Takes the snap, pressure off the edge, throw it upfield behind the intended target, Walker Newton, who had the slant route open, but Bird's quick release, Nick, that might have been a bit of antsiness on the part of the freshman quarterback.
I think so. As he's had he's had one pick and a couple of close calls. I think he was just really wanting to get rid of that, and that would have been a big gainer because Newton was open on the slant.
6:52 to go, first quarter. Bixby to get it back as one Bear will punt. Just got the kick away as the pressure was in his face. It'll bound at the 40, roll inside the 35, and actually roll to a stop at the 36-yard line where Bixby will get it. Now, there is a penalty flag on the play, so we'll wait and let our officiating crew tonight, being headed up by Todd Ragsdale, to interpret the foul. Refer Football this season brought to you by Northeast Oklahoma Health Systems, by James Hodge Ford, by Mike Finnerty, attorney at law, who brings us our winning strategy in our pregame countdown to kickoff, and by Runt's Barbecue, the home of Refer Football Coaches Show each and every Tuesday night from 6:30 to 7. You follow that on Refer Football, on Refer TV, as well as on Okie Country 101.7 KTFX. The penalty is going to be against Bixby. It'll back it up to the 26-yard line for the Spartans' 3rd offensive series.
Holding call against the Spartans, and so they'll start back deeper.
Presley will move out into a slot. They'll turn, come back across the formation, change direction, go back to the short side of the field, try to find an edge. Ruffers will push him to the boundary, and he'll actually step out of bounds. That was one of the things, too, that the Ruffer defensive coaching staff stressed to their defensive players. Just because Presley looks like he's going out of bounds, make sure he goes out of bounds because he can stop and go another 180 degrees on a dime.
Just gets a couple out of that one.
To the 28-yard line, 2nd and 8. Pass out in space, caught about the 33-yard line as the Ruffers get there in a hurry. Preston Solomon, the 6'4", 185-pound senior, with the reception. The gain is to the 33. Spartans face a 3rd and 3 with 6:20 to play here in the quarter. Now 4 wide receivers come to the near side. The handoff goes short side of the field. Ruffers can't make the ankle tackle, change of direction. This is Zach Blankenship fighting his way up across the 40, 45, and out to the 47-yard line. Put 4 receivers to the wide side right, and then just let the running back go back against the grain. And, Nick, there was too many people covering the right side that couldn't stop Blankenship. He picks up the 1st down at the 47.
16 yards on that.
Outside, catch made by Haas, pitches it back to Presley, 50-45 on the boundary and turned upside down on the ankle tackle of the Ruffer defender. Is getting over that time for Muskogee was Jaron Riggs-Brown, but that quick pass to Haas, and then he laterals it back to Presley, who takes it all the way to the Ruffer 38-yard line, 1st and 10.
15 more yards there, credited to Presley.
Empty backfield now. As the Spartans take the snap, they pitch it underneath to Presley. He tries to find a lane to run in, and he's bear-hugged and dragged to the ground. Ruffer defense that time, LaShawn Mads, the 5'6", 219-pound nose guard for the Ruffers, making the stop on Presley, who's a little slow in getting up. And that's a big uh-oh if you're a Bixby Spartan fan, to see your high school hero slow in getting up off the field. 5 minutes, 26 seconds left to go here in quarter number one. We've got an injury timeout on the field. Let's take this break along with the two squads. We'll return in 30 seconds. It is Bixby 13, Muskogee nothing. We're back in 30 seconds on Rougher Football 2021.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com. In sport.
Back at Lee Snyder Stadium, the attention being given to Braylon Presley. He was able to get up and walk off the field, but was certainly the focal point of not only the coaching staff, players, but all the Spartan fans in attendance here tonight. So now with Presley on the sideline, that'll put Blankenship as the running back. 2 steps in behind the quarterback, Christian Burke. Snap goes, handoff goes to Blankenship, coming right and across the 30, 25, and all the way downfield to the 21-yard line goes Zach Blankenship. Nick, it's not the most impressive-looking athlete. He's 5'5", 155, but he moves in a hurry, and he gets in behind that very strong and experienced offensive line and knows where to take the football north and south.
And that's the big part, is you said it right there. The offensive line make you or me look good running behind them, I think.
This time, Blankenship to the right, a Burke. Handoff goes Blankenship, got a block on the crease, but then gets wrapped up and dropped as the Ruffers that time defensively got there to make the stop. Dion Bowler, the 5'7", 150-pound sophomore. Nick, we say sophomore, junior, too many times for the Muskogee Ruffers this season.
Loses the yard, though, on the play, back to the 22, so second down and 11.
Burke this time will have a trio of receivers to the right side. Tied in that's Jack Puckett. He'll step over to the left. Long cadence. Burke takes it, slings it out in space. Blankenship got a block from Haas at the 15 and stumbles downfield to about the 14-yard line. Dylan Haas, 5'10", 170-pound junior H-back, leading the block that time that allowed Blankenship room to run. He takes it for the first down at the 14-yard line. Or make it short of the first down. He'll be about 3 yards short. So now Blankenship will line up directly behind Burke, who takes the snap, play action, throws underneath, catch is made at about the 10, at the 5, and into the end zone goes Jack Puckett, 6'1", 212-pound senior tight end, taking this reception. And it's not Puckett, but it's Bo Bertelli, the 6'1", 200-pound senior. Almost twin lookalikes, Nick. And Bertelli overpowered the Ruffer defender and puts it into the end zone. Bixby's got their third score. We still have 3:45 to go in quarter number one.
And they're just rolling right down the field against the Ruffers.
Now Spartans will go for the 2-point conversion. They'll snap it straight back to Connor Kirby. He'll have a crease and walk into the end zone for 2 more. So Bixby puts the 2-point conversion on top of the touchdown pass and have extended the lead to 21-0 with 3:45 to go in quarter number one. Back in 30 seconds, you're watching Rougher Football 2021.
Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
3 chances to have the football, 3 touchdown trips for the Spartans of Bixby. The last one, a touchdown pass of 14 yards from Christian Burke to Bo Bertelli. And with 3:45 left in the opening 12 minutes tonight from Lee Snyder Stadium, Bixby with a 21-0 advantage. Connor Nolan again going to drive this one deep. McGee will field it inside the 5. He'll come to the 10, try to turn the corner looking for a block, and has no place to run this time. He'll get to the 17-yard line where the Ruffers will take over.
Well, the Ruffers need to try to jet out a couple of first downs and keep the defense off the field, because that's what's going to happen before long if this continues. The defense is just going to get worn out for the Ruffers, as Bixby the Ruffers have had the ball now. This was their 4th possession.
Right.
And they haven't had too much success. Had two first downs so far.
A lot of opportunities, though, Nick, that went off receivers' fingertips. So now Tolbert right in behind Ficklin, and as the play starts, the Ruffers move, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Backing it up closer to the Ruffer goal line.
They'll march it back to the 12, and the Ruffers will look at 1st and 15, and certainly you don't want to be getting behind the chains against this Bixby defense.
Well, it's an aggressive-minded defense that just comes straight ahead and challenge you. And, Nick, one of the things that is so impressive in watching the red, white, and blue of Bixby is the physicality of the way they play. They come hoping and expecting to leave a mark. Ficklin going to hand it off to Tolbert, has a momentary crease, and then he's smothered and dragged to the field turf. Tolbert will get, I don't know that he got back to the line of scrimmage.
I think he may have even lost it. Well,
the spot's going to be at the 12. We'll call it no gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 15 for Muskogee. On the road tonight here at Lee Snyder Stadium. We mentioned this is week number 2 of a 3-game gauntlet schedule. Last week, Choctaw. This week, Bixby. Next week, Hornets of Booker T. Washington at S.C. Williams Stadium. So now trips to the left side. Watson, Gibbons, and Bell. Empty backfield for Ficklin. Brings Tolbert in motion. Hands it off to Tolbert, trying to come to the corner of the upfield pursuit. It's pitched back. Now Bell's going to throw it over to a receiver. It's caught at the 10, 15, out across the 17-yard line. On the receiving end, that's Blade Todd taking the catch. So Tolbert took the pitch, then tossed it back to Bell, who threw it across the field to Blade Todd, and he's able to get upfield to about the 17-yard line. So a 6-yard pickup. Now the Ruffers will face 3rd down and 9. Got to do something to try and confuse the aggressiveness of the Bixby defense. Clock showing 2:46. Why did it stop? That was a completed pass.
Good question, unless he went out of bounds over there.
So now on a 3rd and 9, Ficklin, straight drop back, pumps, looks to throw underneath on an out route, trying to come to the sideline as Gibbons was matched up out on the edge against Jacob Snyder. Airmails the pass out of bounds, incomplete, and the clock will stop with 2:40 to go here in quarter number 1.
So another 3 and out for the Ruffers, and this will be about the deepest that they've had to punt so far. So just what you don't want to do is give Bixby any better field position.
You knew, Nick, it was going to take a Herculean effort to stay in this game. Right now, if you're Muskogee, you've got to test your own heart as if to say we're going to make a good deal out of this. High snap, kick is blocked, and it's going to be picked up. Spartans will pick up the loose ball and walk it into the end zone for the touchdown. Preston Solomon able to pick up the loose ball after the block punt. It was a high snap. One Bear was a little delayed in getting it off. It was blocked. Solomon picks it up on the punt return and walks it into the end zone for the 6 points on about a 7-yard return.
So, one of those games, I'll tell you what. And this Bixby team goes so fast. It just very up-tempo.
2:34 still to go in the first. The PAT try is down. The kick is up. It is good. And there's time out on the field with 2:34 left in the opening 12 minutes. Bixby showing no mercy on the Muskogee Ruffers as the Spartans have built a 28-0 advantage. Muskogee will have the football when we return after this 30-second timeout on Ruffer Football 2021.
Hi, welcome to Nissan of Muskogee.
Here in Muskogee, I mean, we're just 45 minutes from Tulsa, but us being family owned, I mean, like I said, the customers feel like family too.
What makes Nissan and Muskogee different? It's our people and a driving desire to surpass the expectations of our customers.
We care, and that's why they come to us.
Become a part of the family and let our people take care of you. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanandmuskogee.com.
2:34 left of the opening 12 minutes of play. Bixby with 4 touchdowns already. 28-0, the last coming off the resulting blocked punt and the pickup by Solomon to run it into the end zone from 7 yards out. Nick Hampton, you may be saying, what has Muskogee done to get themselves into this type of hole? Well, ask the preceding 6 opponents for the Bixby Spartans, because this has been much the same story week in and week out for Bixby. Ensuing kickoff, Bell will retreat to the 2. He'll come to his left at the 10, trying to find blockers, has no place to go, and goes to the turf at about the 14-yard line. There is a penalty flag down on the play.
Probably going to be a illegal block against the Roughers thrown over there as they were trying to help Bell get to the outside.
Referee Todd Ragsdale will indicate the personal foul face mask against Bixby.
Oh, all right.
So that'll be tacked on to the end of the return. Move it out to the 30-yard line, where Roughers will have a little bit of breathing room to begin their 5th possession here in the opening 12 minutes of action. Rougher football this season brought to you in part by Buffalo Wild Wings, who sponsors our Rougher Player of the Game, by Excel Physical Therapy, from setback to comeback. Count on Excel Physical Therapy, by Kyle Everett's Buick GMC, and by David Cobb State Farm Insurance. Empty backfield for Ficklin. Takes the numbers high snap, steps to his right, lofts a long pass downfield, had a receiver over there. This is going to be interference.
Yeah.
Pass was intended for the sophomore wideout, Caden McGee, but he was tackled from behind. It was an easy call for the back judge. That'll be a pass interference walk-off against the Spartans of 15 yards, and another Rougher, Jay Hodge, Chevrolet, Muskogee Rougher, first down and 10.
I think Haas was the man back there covering for the Spartans, and he was just kind of shielded off the play, and as a result, he tried to get around the receiver and interfered with him.
So a 1st and 10 for the Roughers out to the 45-yard line as the clock shows 2:19 left to go in quarter number 1. Trips to the wide side right. Watson in a slot to the boundary short left. Pump fake. Watson on a stop and go. He got bumped, and there's an easy flag here because Watson made a nice stop move. Jacob Snyder just launches into his thighs and denies the forward progress. He'll take the pass interference penalty because Watson, if he catches that one, the Ant-Man might have had 6 points on the board.
He might have. As it is, though, the Roughers will get another 15 tacked on, and they'll be into Bixby territory for the first time tonight.
Jacob Snyder, Nick, has a little bit of Muskogee County roots. He grew up in Fort Gibson. His mother, Jamie, was the soccer coach for the girls program at Fort Gibson before she and her family relocated to Bixby. 1st and 10, Roughers from the Bixby 45-yard line. Ficklin with Gibbons in motion. Will hand it off to Isaiah. Going right, 45. Cuts into the middle of the field, the 40, and downfield to the 39-yard line. Gibbons with the 6-yard pickup. Dylan Haas coming up quickly to help out on the tackle. Also, Cale Fugate, the junior safety, assisting the blue and red-white defensive effort. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
Roughers with their best opportunity so far in the game as they move inside the Bixby 40 for the first time. Gibbons getting a little spark there in that run with good speed.
Bell and K.D. Freeman, who goes in motion, they counter. Ficklin back in the pocket, going to throw deep, looking for Jane. He got pushed from behind. Where's the flag? None called. Snyder put a hand on the shoulder of Bell, pushing him inside on the contact, and then is able to find the loose ball, and the pass is going to be intercepted by Preston Solomon.
Second eye.
Did I not see that the same as you did, Nick?
I'm not sure who got hands on who there. Someone did.
Bell had the inside move and looked like he had position, and Chris Reisenhuber is raising the roof on the Rougher sideline. He did not like the no flag. The intercepted pass gives Bixby back the football at their own 7-yard line. 1:26 to play here in quarter number 1. Personnel changes here. Muskogee's going to call a timeout. We'll do the same. It's 28-0 Bixby back at Lee Snyder Stadium after this 30-second timeout on Rougher Football 2021. Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence. Well, after another intercepted pass by Preston Solomon, the Spartans will take over 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line. 1:26 to go here in quarter number 1. Bixby exploding with 4 touchdowns in the opening quarter.
See if Presley returns, or whether they were smart, they'd probably just keep him out, I would think. At this
that may well be the call here now in this formation. Spartans will go empty. Double slot. Burke will take the snap. He'll keep it by himself. Ruffers that time got in the backfield and wrapped it up for pretty much nothing, going Bowler, the first guy there for the green and white clad Ruffer defense.
Well, that's a good start. Make Bixby have to earn it.
Got back to the line of scrimmage. The forward progress, they're going to mark up field to the 8, so a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. Stacked slot receivers to the right. Burke will take the numbers high snap. He'll just come straight ahead with blockers in front. Ruffers that time got into the path and hit the running back, Connor Kirby, as he gets out to about the 14-yard line. That time, Ruffer defense making the stop was Ronald Warren. As Juicy got there, stopping him short of the first down marker. 3rd and 2. Kirby at quarterback with a hard count. Now he'll stand, look to the sideline. Clock inside the final 30 seconds of this first quarter. Quarterback keeper again by Kirby has a crease, has the first down and some change as his forward progress will come out to about the 20-yard line. They'll stop the clock while they move the sticks. Bixby Spartans can hurt you defensively, they can hurt you offensively, and they can do it pretty much as they choose. The final seconds will expire the opening 12. Bixby scoring 3 offensive and another special teams touchdown to lead 28-0 over the Muskogee Ruffers after the end of the first quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2021.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Ruffer Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
From Central Elementary, Caden Jones.
12 minutes gone tonight here at Lee Snyder Stadium. Bixby scored the first 3 offensive possessions and then scored a 4th touchdown on the result of a block punt that was picked up by Christian Solomon and ran in from 7 yards out. So after 12 minutes of action, Nick, Bixby 28, Muskogee 0.
And so the Ruffers find themselves swimming uphill tonight against this Bixby Spartan team. See if they haven't stopped them yet. So far they have scored on every possession they've had, plus, as you said, that special teams block punt and a touchdown.
Spartans on the season averaging 59 points a game and giving up only 10. I know my broadcast partner across the way, Sean Tiemann, has a stat that he keeps about scoreless quarters for the Bixby Spartan defense. Well, chalk one more up for the blue, red, and white. Football at the 20-yard line as the Spartans this time will work out of the gun, bring motion Blankenship across the formation. He'll redirect. They'll run the counter inside on the handoff and up across the 20 to about the 23-yard line for the Spartans. That's Blankenship was the man that went in motion, and that was Jack Puckett, I think, on the carry. Or Bertelli, rather. So a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Blankenship now will move up to the right shoulder. Is back in the pocket, the Bixby quarterback now scampering, throws upfield, intended for a target. It's low. Pass from Christian Burke, the senior, who, Nick, as you mentioned, was the backup a year ago. Spartans will rotate quarterbacks on not just series, but between plays. The incomplete pass brings up a third down. Second third down of the night for the Bixby Spartans.
First incompletion of the night for Burke in 5 attempts.
Now Blankenship, 2 steps in behind Christian Burke. Football at the 23, have to go to the 30 for the first down. Now Blankenship to the right side, steps in for pass protection. Burke's going to challenge the defense, has a receiver out there, but he airmails his would-be target. Pass intended for Preston Solomon. It was rumored during the day, Nick, that we would not see Luke Haas, the talented tight end, already a commit to the University of Oklahoma, that he would not play tonight. We've yet to see him on the field. But for the first time tonight, the Spartans are going to have to punt.
Probably one of the rare occasions this season they've had to do this, I imagine.
Although punting on the year, Connor Nolan averaging 36 yards per kick. 4th and 7. Good snap, 1 step, kicks away, end over end kick. Bell will watch it roll, and he'll just get out of the way of it. And the ball will creep its way inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line, where Muskogee will start its first offensive series. But a victory for the Rougher defense, Nick. They're able to stop Bixby short of the first down line to gain, and we'll give the football back to Bird and the offensive crew.
Nice punt by Nolan, 52 yards. So the Roughers will start back at their own 25, see if they can get some kind of offense generated here.
Big challenges tonight for Tion Brewer, Keenan Adams, James Moore, Devin Whitfield, and Jay Scarrett, that offensive line against the aggressive defensive front of the Bixby Spartans. Kai Roller is a big fella in the middle, 6'1", 313-pound senior. Now Bird with Talbert to his right, takes the snap, pump fake, going to air it out deep, looking for Bell against Snyder. This time Bell's got the ball at the 50, and then he's pushed out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Jacob Bell and Jaden Snyder, personal acquaintances from their youthful days growing up in the Muskogee area. That time, Bell's able to beat him as he goes from the 25 on one end to the 43 on the other. 33 yards on the pass completion and a J. Hodge Chevrolet. Muskogee Rougher first down and 10.
Nice play. Well thrown ball by Ficklin with pressure in his face once again.
Watson and Caden McGee are split to the boundary, wide side right. Bring motion across the formation. Hand it off to K.D. Warren. Coming this way. Got a block by Tolbert. At the 35, at the 30 goes Warren.
K.D. Freeman
rather than Warren.
Yeah.
But a nice effort that time by K.D. is the Bakers dozen number results in a pretty good game from the 43 to the 28-yard line. 15 yards on the reverse trip up the field for K.D. Freeman and another J. Hodge Chevrolet. Rougher first and 10.
So the Roughers knocking, trying to get inside the red zone for the first time tonight.
Talbert now will split to the left along with Bell as it's an empty backfield for Bird, as Ficklin will stand by himself 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. Take the snap, blitz comes up the middle. Ficklin averts the first tackler but can't get outside the press. Miles Hill, 6'2", 205-pound senior defensive end. That's his 18th tackle for loss, his 8th sack of the season. And that's a big loss as that time Ficklin was taken down back at the 39-yard line.
11-yard loss on the play, and Roughers way behind the chains now on 2nd and 21.
Aggressive-minded defense. They come in a hurry. 5 interceptions coming into tonight. They picked up 2 more here already. So 18 forced turnovers. Now Ficklin, play action, rolls to his right, wants to throw upfield, looking for Caden McGee. Draws it into the belly, right on the boundary, right in front of the defensive coverage. As out there was Tyson Williams against the sophomore wide receiver of the Roughers, who was one of our guests in our pregame countdown to kick off the catch, made it the 16-yard line. That's good enough for another J. Hodge Chevrolet. Rougher first and 10.
23 yards. Gives Ficklin now almost 80 yards through the air. Nicely thrown ball.
Play went out of bounds, stopping the clock with 9:40 to go before halftime. Rougher started this drive at their 25-yard line and moved it into the red zone for the first time tonight. Talbert to the left of Ficklin. Roll the pocket to the left. Ficklin will sling it out in space. Caught by Bell at the 10, and it'll be ridden to the ground, but the forward progress should be right at the, and they're going to say right at the 10-yard line. So gain will leave 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard pickup. Ruffers just having to roll left or right, Nick. The pressure of the defensive front of the Bixby Spartans forcing you to get rid of the ball in a hurry.
Yeah, that's what we talked about early in our pregame, is that he's probably going to have to do that to avoid the pressure.
See how the Spartans will press the coverage on the outside as Talbert lines up to the right of Ficklin. He'll stay in for block protection. In some trouble is Bird trying to get to the corner, lost the football, has to stop and pick it up and take the loss back upfield at the 22-yard line.
Lucky he didn't lose the ball, however, so.
Had the ball knocked out, actually knocked it out of his own hands as he was trying to avoid the pressure from Miles Hill, who had come uncontested off the backside of the River quarterback. So the loss goes all the way back to the 27-yard line.
22.
Yeah, my mistake. 22-yard line.
12-yard loss, though, for Ficklin. Now 3rd down and
16. Katie Freeman and Jaden Bell are wide to the left. Ficklin in the pocket. Steps up in the pocket. Waits for time. Throws to the end zone. Out there for the make catch, and he can't hold on to it.
No.
Rougher receiver was there. Caden McGee had it. Credit Ficklin with a good job of dancing in the backfield. He was open in the end zone, but just could not control the possession, and it falls incomplete, bringing up 4th down. Well, that'll be one the young sophomore would wish he could have it all over again.
Yeah.
But he's getting a pat on the back on the top of the helmet from his teammates.
Watson gives him that pat on the back, says, next time you get it.
Same formation with Watson and McGee to the boundary, short side right. Ficklin, numbers high snap, throw across the middle. Watson had it in his hands, but it goes through incomplete. And the Ruffers will turn it over on down. So after getting to the 10, Nick, threatening, the Ruffers unable to finish the drive, and the Spartans, thanks to a loss earlier in this series of downs, will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line, leading 28-0 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to go before halftime.
Well, that was a nice drive by the Ruffers. Started at their own 25-yard line and didn't go to 3rd down until that very last series. So they ran 3, 5, 8 plays in that series and got it down, like you said, down to the 10, but ran out.
Christian Burke will direct the offensive series for the Spartans this time. Zach Blankenship remains as the running back. Motion across the formation, pitch it to Haas, going right, cuts upfield, 20, changes in the middle of the field to 25. From behind, he's going to be wrapped up and tossed to the turf. As that time, the Ruffers finally get a hand on the effort of the Spartans. Arion Parrish making the stop. 1st and 10 at the 31. Quick out route. Blankenship taking it off a block on the edge and able to bring it upfield to the 37-yard line as Blankenship made the catch. Got the block.
Now it's 1st down
to Preston Solomon. So 1st and 10 to the 37-yard line. Twin receivers go left. Blankenship to the right. Play action series. Burke will stand in his pocket, now roll to his sideline, looking to throw upfield and diving to make the catch off the turf.
Nice
the official
catch.
behind the play is going to call the reception good. Bo Bertelli again at the 46-yard line, able to scoop that one. I got the fingertips underneath the football just as it hit the turf. Now quickly out in space. Catch made at the 45. 40, a blocker in front down the boundary at the 30. And the helmet comes off. And Ruffers here are going to get called for a grabbing in the headgear as the catch was made by Jacob Snyder. The play went downfield to the 27-yard line where Snyder stepped out of bounds. The personal foul called against Muskogee. Snyder will have to leave the game for a play, but there'll be an added penalty tacked on to the end of that play. So just like that, Nick, Bixby had it taking over on downs at their 22, and 3 plays later, here they are at the Ruffer 14-yard line. 7:16 to play, quarter number 2. Blankenship off the right shoulder, takes the handoff through a crease, dances out on the edge of the 10. At the 5, he'll walk his way into the end zone. Well, a lot is made about Braylon Presley, but Zach Blankenship, even though he's 5'5" at 155, can scoot like a bug on water. And he scampers in for the touchdown, and Bixby has expanded their lead.
And they just made it look pretty easy. Blankenship with good speed out there. Got to the outside edge, and once he turned that corner, the referees couldn't catch up with him.
78-yard drive. And the PAT to follow. Snap is down, kicks away. It's a little chip shot. It's good. And that makes the score Bixby 35, Muskogee 0. Back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Rougher Football 2021.
It's a time when uncertainty spreads faster than understanding. It's also a time when taking steps to prepare can help us all find a sense of security. At ServPro, helping our nation's homes, businesses, and shared spaces be more clean, be more safe, is why we're here. Here in your community, here to help.
Excellent orthopedic care, sports medicine.
Muskogee Ruffers on their preceding series got it as close as the 10-yard line, but then would turn it over on downs, and almost with the flip of the switch, the offense of Bixby goes into high gear. Zach Blankenship capping the 78-yard drive on a 12-yard scamper. The PAT makes it 35-0. Bixby leading Muskogee.
Kind of like they just got mad because Muskogee got down to the 10-yard line, so they said, okay, well, we'll show you. And they take it 78 yards down the field with Blankenship doing a lot of the damage.
So now Kennedy McGee along with Jaden Bell will stand back around the 5-yard line to wait on the kick. Angled toward the far boundary into the hands of McGee at the 15, the 20, and out across the 25. Still on his feet up the boundary, and then he's going to be collared and yanked to the turf. I didn't see a penalty flag that time, but it sure did look like McGee's head was on a swivel.
He did a nice job of, I think everyone thought he had stepped out of bounds, and he said, no, I didn't, and he motored up another 5 yards before they did get him out of bounds.
Kennedy McGee's definitely got some quick. He has got a lot of juice in those feet. He gets it out to the 37-yard line where Muskogee will start 1st and 10. 7:03 to go before halftime. Rougher Football this season brought to you in part by Red Dirt Production Services, by Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, by Nissan of Muskogee, and by ServPro of Muskogee, like it never happened. Hand the football off to Tolbert, coming to the right, lowers his shoulder and turns south to north. He'll get about a yard upfield to the 38-yard line. Just the upfield pursuit of the Bixby defense in numbers, Nick, makes it so hard to run against Bixby.
Ruffers are just about in the negative rushing because of the 2 sacks that Ficklin took.
So now Bird will bring the offense to the line of scrimmage with Tolbert to his right. Trips go wide outside the hash mark to the left. Ficklin, play action, underneath catch made by Watson. Collared and dropped the football, but they're going to say his knee was on the turf.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's a big break there for Muskogee because it looked to me like Watson was resting on top of the defender. It had not touched the field.
That's what I thought too, yeah.
But the gain will be 3 to the 41. So it'll be 3rd down and 6. Clock running with 6:07 to go before halftime. 35-0, Bixby on top. Scoreboard update brought to you by Kyle Everett Buick GMC. Givens, Bell, and Watson will be the trio of receivers to the left side. Caden McGee matched up one-on-one to the boundary, short side right. Back to Ficklin. Bird's going to try to fly here. He tiptoes his way toward the line of scrimmage, and you cannot do that. You can't tiptoe anything, Nick, against this defensive unit for the Bixby Spartans.
If you're going to run, you got to make up your mind and run. You can't be tentative with this group. So now the Ruffers look at
4th down
and 5, yep. And one Bears on to punt.
Oh, you would like to gamble, Nick, but here against Bixby, boy, you just don't want to take any chances, especially on your own end of the field. One Bear will stand back inside the 30 to wait the long snap. Spartans show pressure. Here they come in a hurry, trying to get to One Bear, and he got the kick away. It's fielded at the 25. Up across the 30, change of direction, pick up a wall of blockers coming back to the near side. On the return to 40, 45. One Bear trying to give chase. And finally, the return specialist for the Bixby Spartans, that's Joshua Newkirk. Nick started to his right, then peeled back and found a wall of blue, and he takes it all the way back to the Ruffer 42-yard line.
Yeah, he did a nice job. The Ruffers kind of had him pinned back there on the punt, but he went right and then came back left, and the wall set up very nicely for him out there.
Overran the coverage of the Ruffer defensive punt kick return team. Spartans will start in plus field goal position with the 42-yard line. Clock showing 4:57 to play here in the opening 2 quarters of action. Has is in a slot wide to the left, out on the numbers. Twins go wide right, bring motion across the formation. Burke back in the pocket, throws a little underneath bubble screen. Catch is made by Bertelli at the 40 and down to about the 36-yard line. Ruffer coaches and fans thought there could have been a hold, but no laundry thrown. Gain of, we'll call it 7 on the pass play. Now Blankenship off the right hip. Play action. Burke in the pocket, stands tall, waits, throws underneath, diving effort across the middle of the field. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Dylan Haas.
Brings up 3rd down.
It's a young, talented group. Third down and 3. Blankenship as the running back. He'll step up alongside his quarterback, take the handoff, find those big offensive hogs up front, and slices downfield inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Nick, when you see Brody Duffel at 6'4", 235, Levi Dunsmore at 6'1", 265, Cody Pascal 6'2", 230, 5'11", 240, that's Ian Lonsdale, and Josh Stevens 6'2", 235. That's an offensive line that is mean and strong. Back in the pocket, Burke dropped the football, now throws out on the edge, and the ball is, they're going to call it a completed pass.
I think he got it just as he was coming back the other way for the ball.
Dylan Haas making the catch at the shoe tops. Wait for an 8-yard pickup. Blankenship off the left of Burke this time. Back in the pocket goes the Spartan quarterback. Being flushed, pump fakes, got the Ruffer defender up off his feet, and then races forward down the boundary. Ruffers got in the face of Burke, but bit the fake, Nick, on the pump of the quarterback. Burke will come up short by about, they actually lost
yardage on the play.
Back upfield to the 23. Have to go to the 18. Burke this time handed off to Blankenship. He'll be ankle tackled. Nice individual effort as getting in there that time for Muskogee was Memphis Coleman, the 5'9", 165-pound senior, making the stop, forcing a 4th down situation. Spartans have to go to the 18, so it's a 4th and 5. Now Bertelli in as a running back. Burke on a hard cadence. Check it, it's Connor Kirby in as the quarterback now. Snap, Kirby's going to keep it. His offensive line just mauls the line of scrimmage, blowing everybody out of the way. And then the carry downfield to the 16-yard line. But at the end of the play, we've got a penalty flag down.
Kirby's kind of their wildcat quarterback. He comes in, every time he comes in, they're running the ball.
See which way this penalty will be called. I think it's going to be on Muskogee for a late hit. Personal foul against face mask against Muskogee. That'll be tacked on to the end of the play, Dick, and it'll move it to the 8-yard line. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go here before halftime. Bixby with a 35-0 advantage. Christian Burke at quarterback. Blankenship off his left side. Motion across the formation. Burke will take it, throw the little wheel route, coming back to the near side. Catch made, take it into the end zone for another touchdown.
It's Haas, I think.
Dylan Haas on the little wheel route. And the Bixby Spartans scored this time on an 8-yard pass reception. Haas from Burke.
So they just continue to roll down the field. 3:02 still left here in the half. And now the Spartans break the 40-point barrier.
Snap is back on the PAT. The chip shot is good. There's timeout with 3:02 to go in the first half. Bixby doing what Bixby does. 42-0 over the Muskogee Ruffers here with 3:02 to go before intermission. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2021. Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Roughers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a number one priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Roughers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, "Go Roughers!"
Road, don't risk life. Drive, thanks to Farmers Agent William Franklin for bringing these in.
Bixby Spartans doing what Bixby does best, put points on the scoreboard, Nick Hampton.
They really do. They just, it's like a machine, and they have done that, not just Muskogee. This has been pretty typical for them all season long, as we said a couple of times, averaging almost 60 points a game. And in case you joined us a little bit late, doing it a lot here this latter part of the game without their outstanding running back Braylon Presley, who was injured in the first quarter.
69-14, the season opener, 23-15 victory over Jinx. That's the fewest number of points that Bixby scored all year long. Now on the kick return, Kennedy McGee at the 20, and that's where we wrapped up and taken to the turf. 69-14 to Mansfield Timberview. Then at Jinx in week number 2, 23-15 winner. Then pummeled Stillwater 42-14. Shut out Bartlesville 71-0. Routed Putnam City West 81-6. And then in a matchup of number 1 against number 2 on the road, Spartans buzzed the Yellow Jackets 70-7 last week, winning here at home against Sand Springs. And now with 2:55 to go before intermission, have a 42-0 lead over the youthful Muskogee Roughers. Jamarian Ficklin with Brendan Talbert to his left brings K.D. Freeman in motion. They hand it off to Talbert, running with a head of steam out across the 20. Going to be spun down upfield at about the 24-yard line. Jack Puckett, the linebacker, on the outside edge, making the stop. 6'1", 212-pound senior.
5 carries for 22 yards for Tolbert, but remember he got 16 on his very first carry, and it's been slim going since then.
Notice here in this series, though, Nick, the Roughers seem to be a little more patient between plays, not get caught up in the hype. 2 receivers go wide either side as Ficklin takes the snap, slings it outfield for K.D. Freeman at the 20-25, and he'll drag a tackler upfield about the 28-yard line. The left-handed throwing freshman quarterback, Jamarian Ficklin, finding K.D. Freeman with a positive gain of about 4. 3rd down and 2. Clock running with 1:55 to go before halftime. Caden McGee and Anthony Watson are the twins to the right side. Ficklin on a hard count. Now will step back, stare to the sideline to get the play call from Chris Reisenhuber. Talbert will move to the left of Bird. Back in the pocket, throw it upfield, caught by Caden McGee, has the first down and change. He'll be, that's Jaden Bell rather. He'll be ushered out of bounds upfield at the 35-yard line. 7-yard pickup. J. Hodge Chevrolet, Muskogee Rougher, 1st and 10.
Ficklin now at 99 yards passing so far tonight. That is the 2nd reception for Bell.
Clock stopped as Bell went out of bounds. What a perfect weather night, Nick. It was 73 degrees at kickoff. That's dropped a few degrees, but boy, you couldn't ask for better weather conditions. Ficklin this time will bring Bell in motion on a jet sweep coming to the right side, and the Spartans' aggressiveness up the field in a hurry had no place to go. Dylan has one of the defenders. Also, Braden Darrell, a 6'1", 224-pound senior defensive tackle. Stopping that one for minus yardage.
Lost back to the 32, so a 3-yard loss there.
Luffers would like to just be able to run out the clock if they can't put points on the board. McGee and Gibbons are to the right. Isaiah will go in motion. They'll counter, play action. Ficklin in trouble, back in his pocket, looking to throw downfield to Caden McGee, who was being checked in the middle of the field, and Ficklin able to use his arm strength, and he's a little bit slow in it.
He got hammered by the pressure coming in there.
Once again, that looks to be Braden Darrell, who got in at the face of Jamarian Ficklin and then wrapped up the youthful Rougher quarterback, who's 5'11", 160-pound frame is tough to match up against a 6'1", 224 bullish, strong defensive tackle.
Darrell Durrell coming in with 10 tackles for loss.
Bickler this time will roll to his left, sling the pass upfield intended for Bell. It's overthrown. Is it intercepted? No. They're going to wait a minute.
Yes, it is.
The side judge is going to come in and say, yes, he caught it with a foot in bounds. Jacob Snyder with another INT, and Bird has thrown 3 picks already here in the first half with 45 seconds to go before intermission. That's maybe one of those you put up in the stands.
It really is, and I think he kind of thought about that. He got it over to the sideline, but not far enough, and Snyder comes away with it. Hopefully the Spartans can't do much with it in 45 seconds. We'll see.
They'll go stacked receivers to the boundary, short side right, bring motion across the formation. Burke going to hand it off, Blankenship going right, 45, waits on a block, and then scampers up near the midfield stripe. 9-yard pickup. Second and a yard to go. Spartans quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Clock stopped as Blankenship went out of bounds. Burke going to sling it out on a wheel route coming near side. Catch made it to 45 across midfield into rougher territory and still on his feet. Able to get downfield. That's Jacob Snyder. One of the things, Nick, I'm impressed with all the receivers and running backs of Bixby, they don't go down on the first contact.
No.
They get a lot of yards after contact and extending plays and resulting in added first downs that eventually add up to points on the scoreboard. Spartan's going to take a timeout. We'll keep it here. Whenever you need insurance, Ruppers could sure use some tonight. A little life insurance maybe. But when you need insurance, whether it's for your life, your health, your home, your business, your automobile, remember your fast, fair, and friendly State Farm insurance agent, David Cobb. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there when you need insurance for any occasion in your everyday life or business. Call on David Cobb, 918-682-2511.
I think we see what Bixby plans to do with that last 45 seconds is they're going to take it in, or they're going to try to. They call the timeout to strategize.
Has and Snyder will be stacked receivers to the left. One wide out by himself to the left. They bring motion across the formation, hand it off to Blankenship straight ahead. He's wrapped up at about the 40, but will again churn the lower legs and drive downfield to the 38-yard line. 22 seconds and counting. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Bixby with the football, trying to get everybody in the right formation. Camden McCurry, the third quarterback into the night, back in the pocket on the play action. Going to stretch the field, wide open receiver, easy throw and catch. Touchdown, Dylan Haas. Caden McCrary, the third Bixby quarterback, and Dylan Haas was out on the edge and just ran past the would-be defender and takes it in for the touchdown. 38-yard touchdown strike.
Wow, he was wide open and a very nice pass thrown by McCrary.
So it took less than 45 seconds for Bixby to put another touchdown on the board. The chip shot PAT is good. And with 8 seconds to go before halftime, Nick, Bixby is 1 point shy of the Barry Switzer's phrase, hang half 100 on them.
Yeah, that's
49-0 the score.
So now the Roughers will get this kick, just 8 seconds left to play here in the half. So run this back and then go to the locker room and kind of question, what are you going to do here in the second half?
Burke has 2 touchdown passes, or actually 3.
McCrary gets his second of the season passing.
With 8 seconds to go before halftime. Try to give you a halftime break, some updates on other scores from tonight's action. Quickly checking 6A1 for football scores. We try to get a refresh on our scoreboard. Union and Norman North are 7-7 at the half. Jinx in front of UConn 27-7.
Here's a kick return by the Roughers.
And on the kickoff, Roughers bring it back up the field and get out to about the 23-yard line. 3 seconds left to go before halftime.
Rashawn, or no, let's see, who was that returning? Latavian Johnson on the return for the Ruffers.
See here if the Ruffers might just take a knee and run out the clock. Bixby leading 49-0. Choctaw leading Sand Springs 28-14. That's in the second quarter. Booker T and Ponca City 13-10 Hornets at the half.
That's interesting.
So now Ficklin with Tolbert to his right. Takes the snap, takes a knee, and we'll go to halftime. Bixby 49, Muskogee nothing. We've reached halftime here in week number 8. We're back to Lee Snyder Stadium with more football, Ruffer style. After this 3-minute timeout, you're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2021.
Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Ruffers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a #1 priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Ruffers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, go Ruffers!
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
It's a special time of the year at J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee. No tricks. I hope we get this right. Oklahoma, it's treats for trade-ins, and we need trade-ins. Come get a trade-in bonus up to $1,500 when you buy your new Chevy. No tricks. Get an appraisal at the dealership or at your home. Treats for trade-ins up to $1,500 extra. No tricks. J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee. 144 West Shawnee.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back on Ruffer Football 2021. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton here with you on week number 8. Muskogee Ruffers on the road. And Nick, here tonight at Bixby, you knew it was going to be, to say the least, a struggle. But the Ruffers tonight have just got another dose of Spartan football the same way the preceding 7 opponents for Lauren Montgomery's teams have had to experience.
That's exactly right. And Muskogee had one opportunity. They got the ball down to the 10-yard line on one drive and ended up having to turn it over, and that's about the closest they've got. Bixby has punted once, and that's been it. They've scored every other time they've had the ball tonight.
Plus, they got 1 points off their special teams on a block punt that Solomon recovered and run in from 7 yards out. Bixby got his first score on a 56-yard touchdown pass. Braylon Presley doing a little shake-and-bake move and left defenders in his path. That came after a Dylan Haas interception. That made it 6-0 with less than 2 minutes into the game. Then moments later, 1 yard run for Christian Burke after he'd gone, or rather Connor Kirby, the 1 yard run after he'd gone off for about a 54-yard scamper just to step out of bounds short of the goal line. The extra point made it 13-0. After the Ruffers are forced to punt, it's Burke finding Bo Bertelli for the touchdown strike, making it 21-0. And then on the ensuing possession, the Ruffers on a high snap. Skylar Onebear has the punt blocked. Solomon picks it up and runs it in from 7 yards out, and after one quarter, it was 28-0 Bixby. Spartans start fast and strong in the second quarter after Braylon Presley had sustained a leg injury there late in the first quarter. Blankenship came in and finished off a 78-yard drive, running it in from 12 yards out. The extra point made it 35-0. Then it would be a pair of touchdown passes going to Dylan Haas. A lot have been hyped about Luke Haas, who's not playing in tonight's game, but his brother Dylan certainly making a name for himself. 2 touchdown passes tonight, one of 8, another of 38 yards. And the score at halftime, 49-0. Nick, I think the first half stats kind of emulate or copy the scoreboard totals heavily in favor of Bixby.
Really do. For the Ruffers, they had 9 first downs in the first half. They rushed 11 times for only 17 yards because there were a couple of sacks against Ficklin. So 17 yards on the ground. Ficklin and Bell, who had one throw completion, combined 10 of 20 passing for 104 yards, but 3 interceptions included in that. So Muskogee's total offense is 121 yards here in this first half. No fumbles, but they do have the 3 interceptions and the 1 blocked punt. Ruffers penalized 4 times for 43 yards. Tolbert, the leading ground gainer, 5 carries for 22 yards for the Ruffers. He had 16 of that, though, on his very first carry, and then was pretty well stymied after that. Bixby has rushed the ball 22 times tonight for 175 yards, 9 of 12 through the air for Christian, and then the one pass by the backup quarterback coming in to make the throw, Camden McCrary. So they have 9 of 12. And let's add McCrary's in there for another 18. So he was 1 of 1. So that makes it 10 of 13 for 153 yards through the air. So give them a total of 318 yards in total offense in the first half for the Bixby Spartans. They were penalized 4 times for 50 yards. They didn't run the ball just a whole lot. Blankenship, the main ground gainer, had 9 carries for 57 yards in that first half. And as Bill mentioned, in case you joined us late, Braylon Presley, their outstanding running back, injured in the first quarter, carried only 4 times for 30 yards before he had to go out of the game.
Halftime score, Bixby 49, Muskogee 0. Back with more coverage from Lee Snyder Stadium. That after this 3-minute timeout here at the half on Rougher Football 2021.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
Having a good time is an American tradition, and at James Hodge, we're proud Americans. Now is the greatest time to get together, get out, and get away, no matter where the open road takes you. Your journey starts at James Hodge, an authentic part of Oklahoma for over 50 years. Get in a perfect ride at James Hodge Ford.
The James Hodge Ford Promise, the best selection,
The absolute best price and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee. Online at hodgeford.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Hi, welcome to Nissan of Muskogee.
Here in Muskogee, I mean, we're just 45 minutes from Tulsa, but us being family owned, I mean, like I said, the customers feel like family too.
What makes Nissan of Muskogee different? It's our people and a driving desire to surpass the expectations of our customers.
We care, and that's why they come to us.
Become a part of the family and let our people take care of you. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence. Welcome back on Rougher Football 2021 tonight from Lee Snyder Stadium in Bixby. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you. Our Rougher TV crew bring you the sights of tonight's action. Kind of a unique experience, Nick, for the two of us here, as because of the lack of press box space, we're actually broadcasting this from the bleachers. Seen a lot of different things this season. Almost, I think this is my 49th year of broadcasting high school and college sports. 49 years. I shed to think how long that really is and how many games that is over 49 years with football and basketball and baseball all combined together. But last week we had the mysterious fog that blinded our vision from the press box because the high humidity levels fogging up the windows on the press box outside at Indian Bowl. We couldn't get to it, even though we did get some grounds crew help with a handmade squeegee that tried to clean off at least a little bit of the vision. But it's been a long time, partner, since this guy has sat in the bleachers to call the action. But quite honestly, with the weather conditions the way they are, it's nice to be out amongst the people.
Well, and I guess that's the fortunate part, is that the weather at least has been nice, so sitting outside has been tolerable, so I guess that's a big part of it. But the action on the field has made it quite a bit less tolerable tonight for the Muskogee Rougher fans.
49-0 is the halftime score. Bixby having their way against the Muskogee Roughers the same way they've had their way pretty much at will against their preceding 6 opponents. And poor Nick, just barring a total collapse or just a divine intervention, knowing our awareness of 6A2 football in the state of Oklahoma, I don't see anybody stopping this runaway freight train.
No, they've beaten everybody that really poses any kind of threat. You think about Choctaw and Booker T, they've beaten both of them. From the other side of the state, Stillwater, they've beaten. I guess maybe Dell City is the only other team over there that might have a chance to stand up to them. But other than that, yeah, you're right. They're definitely on a stampede to make their last year in 6A2 a memorable one.
Like you said earlier tonight when we started our pregame show, learn from this experience, Nick. Realize this is what you want to be.
That's right.
And if you're talking to the juniors and sophomores and freshmen that are wearing the green and white clad uniforms tonight from Muskogee, you hope that you look at this and say, in a year we can be much closer to this. 2 years we maybe can be like this. But right now here tonight, the king of the jungle, the Spartans of Bixby, are leaving no doubt as to who the best team in the state of Oklahoma, and I'm almost tempted to say the best in any division, and that includes the big boys of 6A1. Speaking of other high school football action going on tonight in the district involving the Ruffers, Choctaw is out in front of Sand Springs 28-14. That's at the half. Tulsa, Washington, and Ponca City in a dogfight. The Hornets leading the Wildcats 13-10 at intermission. Bartlesville having no trouble with Putnam City West 28-7. 5A football of local note. Tahlequah looking for another win as they are taking down Glenpool 27-7. That was just before halftime. Wagner, who has been a tradition-rich program and actually owns that 48-game winning streak that should the Spartans go undefeated the rest of the year, they would break with 49. Wagner leading Oologah 38-0. Fort Gibson trying to stay unbeaten in their district play. They've traveled deep into the southeast corner of the state to take on the Broken Bow Savages, where the Tigers at halftime are up 10-7. Hilldale having no trouble hammering Salisaw 42-7 and dropping down to Class 3A. One of the score, Nick, 35-0. Stigler leading Locust Grove.
Yeah, you mentioned some of those scores. Hilldale easily over Salisaw 42-7. And that Fort Gibson score, second quarter, Broken Bow ranked 10th in the state coming in. The Tigers hanging tough with them. 13-10 is what we're showing with
so
Broken Bow on top. Broken Bow leading by 3. So, but that's that Fort Gibson staying close with them though, especially on the road down there. That tough place to play.
Well, we're in football mode right now, Nick, but it won't be but a blink of the eye. We'll be taking the game indoors, whether it's basketball and wrestling. With basketball looking for another outstanding season. The guys made it all the way to the area game to state competition a year ago, and they'll look to try to repeat that effort. The women are trying to get back on the freight train of winning basketball from Muskogee. That'll be about 4.5 weeks from now, Nick.
That's right. Of course, some of the area colleges will be getting underway before that. Connor State gets underway here in about another 10 days or so with their schedule. And SU gets underway probably right after that, I imagine, somewhere in that neighborhood. So basketball is on the horizon.
It is just around the corner. 49-0 Bixby leading Muskogee here at intermission. Some other high school scores of local interest. Haskell shutting out Henrietta 41-0. Eufaula having their way. The Ironheads blistering Idabel 42-6. That's at halftime. Panama no match for Vian tonight, even though the Razorbacks are at home. Wolverines 34-0 advantage. Beggs leading Kiefer 22-8. These are all in Class 2A. Keys and Spiro evenly matched squads, and right now the Cougars hold a 12-3 lead over Spiro tonight there in LaFleur County. So those are some of your scores from around the state. The one here from Lee Snyder Stadium has been all in favor of the home team, Bixby. The red, white, and blue leading the Muskogee Ruffers 49-0 here at intermission. We're back with the start of the second half. That after this 3-minute timeout, this is Ruffer Football 2021.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Ruffer Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
It's a time when uncertainty spreads faster than understanding. It's also a time when taking steps to prepare can help us all find a sense of security. At ServPro, helping our nation's homes, businesses, and shared spaces be more clean, be more safe, is why we're here. Here in your community, here to help.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Ruffer Athletics sponsor.
Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Roughers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a number one priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Roughers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, "Go Roughers!"
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
It's a special time of the year at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. No tricks. I hope we get this right. Oklahoma, it's treats for trade-ins, and we need trade-ins. Come get a trade-in bonus up to $1,500 when you buy your new Chevy. No tricks. Get an appraisal at the dealership or at your home. Treats for trade-ins up to $1,500 extra. No tricks. J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. 144 West Shawnee.
Welcome back on Rougher Football 2021 tonight from Lee Snyder Stadium in Bixby at halftime. Spartans rolling over the Roughers 49-0. Muskogee tonight here on the road against Bixby. 1 week from tonight, another road trip. Instead of from the south side of the Tulsa Metroplex, go to the north side and take on the Hornets of Booker T. Washington. Nick, we've seen a lot of action between the Roughers and the Hornets over the years that have produced some very exciting games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's very interesting series, and even more so it seems like when you play at S.E. Williams Stadium, just all kinds of strange things seem to happen up there. But yeah, you're right. Roughers and Hornets have played some great football games over the years.
I can remember one night in which at halftime it was a 21-6 lead in favor of Tulsa, Washington, and the then PA announcer making an invitation to the Muskogee fans to join the Hornets in the field house after the game for a victory dance. Final score ended up being the Roughers of Ron Freeman heard that announcement as they were making their way to the locker room, and I think things got a little bit refocused and energized. Muskogee won that game 22-21.
Yeah,
I just couldn't refrain from asking Night Train Lane, who was the PA announcer, "Hey, what time's that dance start?" Rougher victory dance. But that'll be next Friday night at S.E. Williams Stadium.
Roughers back out on the field, loosening up. I'm sure that Travis Hill had to come up with maybe one of his best halftime speeches of the season tonight. Keep the morale up and, kind of keep them focused and say, it's like you said going into halftime, Bill, it's a learning experience, and those are the guys we want to be in a year or two. So learn, keep your heads up, keep charging out there full speed.
I think another way you can look at this, Nick, too, is let's go out there and just erase the first two quarters of play. Let's just start this one over again. See what we can do in quarter number 3. See what we can do in quarter number 4.
And
go ahead.
I think another thing, too, is you got to come out and at this point in time, come out and have fun. Enjoy this second half of football as much as you can. Have a good time playing this half.
Come out and make yourself a better player. Come out and do what you've been trained to do, what you practice to do, and win your battles. Win it position by position, play by play, and turn this second half into an opportunity for success. But at halftime, Bixby with a 49-0 advantage over the Roughers here from Lee Snyder Stadium.
I imagine at some point here, fairly early in this third quarter, unless something changes, we will start having a running clock for the rest of the game.
Well, I posed that question through text message to the sideline, and the response I got back was, I won't read it. But it's learn to take your medicine might be the politically correct way for me to explain what I was messaged from the field level. But we'll see what happens. 49-0, Bixby in command, and Nick, they deferred the choice to the second half after winning the coin toss. So now Bixby, who scored in the last 45 seconds of tonight's game in the first half, will get the football right back.
And it's scary to think that they lead 49-0, and they've done it for the most part without their two Division I commits in Luke Has, and who hasn't played at all tonight, and Braylon Presley, who played early in the first quarter and got hurt and has been on the sideline since.
Skylar Wunbear will bring the kickoff team to the field. Joshua Newkirk will be the deep receiver. 6'3" junior. We had a pretty nice return on one of the earlier kicks. Ruffers, as you look at it on your video screen, will be moving from left to right as we begin the third quarter. As Wunbear has it and ready for the kick. A short pooch kick that'll be fielded on an alert response by the kick return team of the Spartans. Is on the return was Walker Smith. That's another situation, Nick, you practice for. You don't always expect it, but then when it does happen, you have to be ready for it, and that's where the Spartans were alert, and they'll have the football now at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, they gave them great field position. I'm not sure that's something you want to do with this Spartan team.
Well, 1st and 10 Bixby on their first series of quarter number 3.
Let's see what we're going to have. Blankenship is in there.
Camden McCreary will be the quarterback. Twin receivers coming to the near side. Throw it upfield, pass picked off, intercepted by the Ruffers. Walker Newton, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. There's your electrifying start of the third quarter. Walker Newton on the pick six, INT.
That'll be about a 50-yard return for Walker Newton.
The pass from Burke was a little flat in getting out there, but Newton, with perfect vision, able to see the angle. He steps in front of the receiver, made the sure-handed grab, and the speedy wideout of the Ruffers was on his way untouched to the end zone for the touchdown. Now Wunbear on to try the PAT following the James Hodge Ford Ruffer touchdown. Jaden Bell to hold. Snap is a little bit off the mark, but the kick is up. It is good. And just like that, special teams for the Ruffers' defensive efforts tonight. Able to get 6 points on the scoreboard. There goes that goose egg. 49-7.
All right.
Well, that energizes your sideline for sure, and the group of fans that made the trip, and also the
band down
Muskogee
here.
band down to our right, playing the Ruffer Fight song. Something I'm going to try to talk to Travis Hill about after every game, getting the team and coaches together and see if we can go back to something that I like that Ron Lancaster always did. In victory or defeat after every game, the team all huddled together, typically in front of the Ruffer Nation fans that were there following, and they sang the fight song. We got 3 students here with us tonight running the cameras, and I would question all 3 to see if they know all the words to the fight song. I get a nay vote from one of our camera operators. How about you know the words to the fight song? That's 2 down. How about 3? Our producer.
She's smiling no.
She just knows cheese pizza is what she's going to order. Here's the ensuing kickoff. Again, it's another short kick, fielded by the Spartans at the 35 and up across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. So again, I go back, Nick, and I've been a part of Muskogee since 1984. I know the first 2 words.
I'm sad to say I do not know the words.
On Muskogee, on to victory. That's about all I can do. And the people tuning in didn't tune in to listen to this old man sing. 1st and 10 Spartans, but after the Ruffers get a pick 6 by Walker Newton, it's 49-7. So now back on the field for their second possession. Camden McCreary with motion out of the backfield. Hands it off to the running back, coming to his left, 45, midfield, into rougher territory, and then pushed down from behind. On the carry for the Spartans, Aiden Hill on the carry, quickly to the line of scrimmage. Pass out to Hill on the boundary, and he'll be shoved out of bounds again. Aiden Kemp making the stop at the 40-yard line, 5-yard pickup. Spartans trying to race the engine here, Nick, trying to go quick.
Yep.
Twins are to the boundary, short side left. Motion across the formation. Play action, throw it out of space, caught down inside the 35 and down about the 32-yard line. Miles Hill, young man that plays a pretty good round of defensive end. Now in as a receiver, he'll go off the field. The Spartans, after the short kick, have moved it quickly to the 30-yard line. Hand off inside. This time the Ruffers diagnose it defensively to their expectations. Devin Whitfield getting into the face of the running back of the Spartans. Aiden Hill, a 5'9", 175-pound senior. Loss of a yard back upfield to the 31. Actually 2 to the 32, so it'll be 2nd and 12. Now late substitution is the wide out for the Spartans comes back in. McCurry working from the shotgun. Hands it off up the middle. Ruffers were waiting with open arms. Good defensive read that time by Juicy. Ronald Warren making the stop on Hill. He'll get downfield just inside the 30. We'll call it the 29. The Spartans will face a 3rd and 9 with 10:37 on the clock running here in quarter number 3. Twin receivers go wide right. Now put motion out of the backfield. Burke back in the pocket underneath bubble screen. Caught at the 30. And Ruffers this time going to wrap this one up and stop it short of the line of the game. Catch made by Connor Stacy. But the Ruffers that time had good containment. Whitfield was over there along with Jeliah Lockport.
So 4th down, let's see what.
No gain on that last play.
So 4th down and still about 9.
Hill, the single running back, in behind Camden McCurry, the senior quarterback. Twins either side. Curry back in the pocket. Plenty of time to chase off. Now he has a running lane. He has a first down and some change as the receiving package, just long enough protection, just ran everybody off the underneath pursuit. And McCurry, seeing the lane to the boundary, scampers all the way downfield inside the 20 to the 19. He needed 9. He got 10, and it's a 1st and 10 Bixby. Now trips go wide right. As McCurry working from the left hash mark. Hands it off inside, waits on a crease. And downfield goes Hill inside the 15, it appears, before finally being ushered out of bounds by the Ruffer defense.
So the Spartans just kind of grinding this out. No big plays here. A couple of 10-plus yardage plays, but 5 and 6 basically at a swipe.
Lockport making the stop on that last effort along with Jeremy Collins. Now the handoff going to Hill. He'll run face-to-face with the Ruffer defender, and there's a lot of new names in there. Parker Pellet aboard for the Ruffer defense. Gang goes downfield to the 12. So it'll be 3rd and 3, needing to reach the 9 for the first down goal situation. Personnel play, allowing the play call. Play action, set up, throw the floater to the end zone, caught!
No, really? Well, I sure looked like he was out of bounds to me.
Spartans get the touchdown toss in the corner of the end zone. Sam McCormick making the touchdown grab. That's a well-timed pass, and really the only guy that could catch it was the guy that it was thrown to. McCormick on the receiving end of the touchdown pass from McCrary.
McCormick doing a good job of getting up high over the defender to snag it.
The extra point on the way. The kick is up, and it is good. 8:48 to play. Bixby, after Muskogee got a pick-6 touchdown, comes right back, driving 58 yards for the score, and lead it 56-7. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Phil Uddleston, Nick Hampton back with you at Lee Snyder Stadium. 56-7. The Spartans 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdown passes tonight, Nick.
That's about the longest number of plays they've had to run to score tonight. 9 plays on that 58-yard drive.
Now the Spartans will kick off for the first time here in the second half. Picked up at the 5, 10, 15, out to the 20. And this is Latavian Johnson on the return. He'll get out to about the 25-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. Wasn't sure if Johnson would be able to go tonight. He's battling a little turf toe.
Didn't play last week against Choctaw.
20-yard return gives the Ruffers 1st and 10. First offensive series. Ruffers got points on the pass interception by Walker Newton, who showed Nick he's got a little giddy up in his pouch.
He does when he gets going.
So now Caden McGee, along with Isaiah Gibbons and Anthony Watson, will be the 3 receiver package to the right, ball resting on the left hash mark. Ficklin, little play action jab step, going to try to stretch the field against Bell, who's being double teamed over on the boundary. The defensive back using the sideline as double team coverage, and the pass overthrown incomplete.
Yeah, that didn't have much chance. Good heads up play there by the defender. As you said, he used the sideline to advantage and made Bell run the type walk over there to try and stay inbounds and also try to catch the ball.
Tyson Williams was the defensive back in coverage that time for Bixby. So an empty backfield this time for Berg as the freshman signal caller will take the waist-high snap. Step to his right, sling a pass underneath. Watson has the catch upfield at the 29, maybe the 30-yard line forward progress. So the Ruffers have got a 3rd and 5 situation to keep this series moving. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the third. It was 49-0 at the half. Ruffers started the third quarter on a pick 6 to get points on the board, but now face 3rd and 5. Ficklin takes the snap, pressure up the middle, steps up in the pocket, looking to scamper, trying to get to the corner, and a nice comeback effort defensively by Bixby.
Great open field tackle out there. He's going to lose a couple of yards on that, and it'll be 4th down, and the Ruffers will punt it away again.
Hank Puckett, sophomore linebacker, making the stop on Bird. He'll lose yardage, and the Ruffers will face a 4th and 7, which means time to punt. And back deep to return will be Joshua Newkirk. Snap is back to one Bear, and he gets this one up on a tight spiraling kick that Newkirk will field at his 40, come to his left across midfield, and right at the 50-yard line, a heads-on collision. Ruffer defender downfield quickly. That time was Brandon Tolbert. Made sure that the return was not going to go too far, but Bixby will start their second offensive series, Nick, in plus territory from the Ruffer 49-yard line, leading 56-7 with 7:19 to play here in the third period of play.
So the Spartans, with pretty much second and third teamers playing at this point, took it 58 yards in the last possession. Let's see what they can do here and see if the Ruffer defense, which you got to think is getting a little bit tired at this point, can stand up.
Connor Kirby, the junior signal caller, back aboard. Kirby out of a bunch formation, takes the snap, going to call his own number straight ahead, 45-40. And inside the 40 down to the 35-yard line. They go that bunch formation, and Kirby's in there, Nick. You expect him to run the football, and he did just that there, scampering all the way to the 35, a 14-yard pickup.
They've run that play about half a dozen times tonight, and every time the Bixby offensive line just blows a big hole open there for Kirby.
And Camden McCrory comes back in at quarterback. Motion, play action. Handed off in series, outside on the edge, 30, 25, 20, out of a tackle to 15, and finally going to be knocked out of bounds inside the 10 at the 5. But Allen Hill just running out of a grab of the jersey tackle attempt and races all the way to the 5-yard line. And you can see the frustration on the face of Ruffer coach Travis Hill as he just scratches his chin and says, "Why me, Lord?" Now the handoff. Hill going to get it right back. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. That time the Ruffers were there to plug the hole in a hurry. Deion Bowler, we called his name on multiple occasions tonight, making the contact at the line of scrimmage. Spartans have an injured player down on the field, and there's a timeout with 6:34 to go here in the third. Bixby threatening again, leading the Ruffers 56-7. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2021.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Bixby Spartan player Aiden Hill, he was the ball carrier on that last play. He's able to get up and walk off the field under his own power. 2nd and goal to go for Bixby as play will resume from the Muskogee 5-yard line.
Spartans trying to push another one in here. So let's see who they'll replace Hill with now at the running back spot.
Mans is the nose guard. Ruffers defensive front with Devin Whitfield up there. Tion Brewer. Same play as a moment ago. This time it's a 2nd or 3rd team running back, and Mans and company corral him short about the 3.
Rodrigo Romero, I believe it was.
J.D. Martin
or J.D.
on
Martin,
the carry.
16 rather than
So
18.
3rd and goal to go. From the 4-yard line. Clock counting with 5:53 and running here in quarter number 3. Quarterback keeper this time. In some traffic that time. Ruffers got up the field and stopped the outside effort. Devin Whitfield got into the face of Camden McCurry, stopping that one back upfield at the 7. So now Bixby, do you bring on your field goal and let him have practice, or do you try to finish this drive?
No, I think Lauren Montgomery will finish it off or try to.
Trying to grow up this young group. Is in at running back is J.D. Martin. McCurry will step back in the pocket. He's got twins to his left, single receiver right. Handed off on the keeper, trying to dance between tacklers and going to be stopped short of the goal line. Ruffers were chasing with intent as Martin on the carry, but a penalty flag down, and we'll see. The Ruffers offside.
Procedure call against Bixby.
That'll be declined, and the Ruffers will get the football. So the Ruffer defense holds its ground as Bixby unable to finish the drive, and the Ruffers will take over. 5:03 to play here in quarter number 3. Nick, you got dinner plans for tomorrow night? I got a suggestion on where to go eat.
Well, I'll be over on that side of town probably about that time too.
So why don't you make your way to my place, not my house, my place, Barbecue West.
Oh, okay.
It's all you can eat ribs every Friday and Saturday night, or you can get the barbecue plate or barbecue chicken. Make your place, my place Barbecue West. Out of the shotgun, hand off, Tolbert straight ahead, breaks the first tackle, fights for the extra yardage with the lunge up to about the 9. That'll go from the 3, a pickup of 6 for Tolbert on the first down carry. Ruffers tonight here at Bixby taking their lessons, and they'll try to use this night for better things 1 week from tonight when they travel to Tulsa, Washington. K.D. Freeman will be in a 2-receiver package. Started to go to the left side. Now he'll come back to the short side boundary right with McGee. Hand off Tolbert coming to his right. 10, lowers the shoulder, powers over tackle, stays in bounds, fights for extra yardage, and powers his way all the way up to the 20-yard line.
Great.
Tolbert looked like he was going out of bounds, Nick, and then just turned straight ahead and ran over a would-be tackler and punishes the defender. Able to get up to the 20-yard line. Good enough for a J. Hodge Chevrolet. Rougher, 1st and 10.
12 yards gain. Good effort by Tolbert as he just lowered that shoulder and got an extra 3 yards out of it.
Find a little want to. That's what Travis Hill said to each of his players at halftime. Caden McGee in motion on the sweep. The counter. Handed off in traffic to Tolbert again. Not much running room straight ahead this time for the junior running back. He'll get a yard.
Tolbert 8 carries for 41 yards tonight.
Nick, if you could look into a crystal ball to predict the future, you just have to think that this young ball club is a team in the making. It may not happen the rest of the season, but the future does bring promise. Play action. Ficklin dancing around in the backfield, has an open field. Bird at the 25, shakes one tackler, and then gets punished to the turf at the 30 as he ran face to face with Josh Newkirk, who wrapped him up and slams him to the hard field turf at the 31-yard line, but not before Ficklin scampers his way to a J. Hodge Muskogee Rougher, 1st and 10.
Yeah, good effort, and he paid the price for it. He just got pancaked right at the end of that, and as the defender just kind of picked him up and tossed him down.
I talked to you about food a minute ago with My Place Barbecue West. Don't bring up pancakes. Caden McGee, the single receiver to the numbers, short side right. Trips go wide left. Ficklin hands it off to McGee, going left side. 30, changes direction and slices his way up to about the 33-yard line. So the Roughers will be facing a 2nd down at about 6. Ball just inches shy of the 34. Clock running with 2:13 to play here in the 3rd. 2:06 and counting. 56-7. Gibbons and McGee are to the near side. Throw it upfield. Pass is overthrown as the intended target, Anthony Watson, fell to the turf. He couldn't get out in that space. And then Bird, after the delivery, got knocked to his backside. That'll force another 3rd down for the Roughers.
Tell you what, you feel a little bit sorry for Jamarian Ficklin because he has spent a lot of time with people in his face and on his back after he's thrown passes tonight. They have really put the pressure on him.
Just because you don't have the ball in your hands, Spartans don't quit, do they, Nick?
Nope.
They make you pay the price for throwing the football. So at 3rd and we'll call it 6. Ficklin with Tolbert to his left. Going to throw the underneath route. Caught by Gibbons at the 40. He's wrapped up and tossed to the turf. Good open field tackle that time by Brady Gresham.
Right at the sticks for the 1st down for Gibbons.
Gibbons falling forward across the 40. The officials will mark it at the 41. That's another J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee Rougher 1st and 10. So this drive that began on the shadows of the Rougher goal line at the 3 after a 4-down stand has now moved out to the 41-yard line where it's 1st and 10. 1:20 in the clock running here in the 3rd. Jaden Bell and K.D. Freeman go wide left. Bird, waist-high snap. Under some pressure, steps up in the pocket, carries it like a loaf of bread, throws upfield. Watson over on the boundary, makes the catch right in front of the down marker. Anthony Watson making sure his feet were planted firmly in bounds, and Bird carrying the football, Nick, like a loaf of bread, like he's trying to get out of the convenience store with a loaf of bread. Hurrying to the car, slings the pass upfield to Ant-Man, and it's another Rougher 1st down at 10. J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac.
Ficklin with 122 yards passing now tonight.
So now Caden McGee will be the single receiver to the boundary right. Bell and Freeman go to the left. Ficklin going to roll that left way, throw it back underneath. Tolbert has an open field, 45. And Watson, if he don't get called for a block back, and he will, he tried to hold up, and he was peeling back, but the defender never turned around, and Anthony's going to get called for a block in the back, even though the carry by Tolbert after the reception went all the way to the 24-yard line.
So the flag is down at the 40, which would have been about a 9-yard gain on the play, but they'll walk it off from there.
And while they're assessing the penalty that'll move it back to the 50-yard line, bring up a 1st and 11. Travis Hill went out and had a little one-on-one coaching time with Anthony Watson, but he left with a pat on the helmet and said, go get him, my man. 33 seconds, the clock running here in quarter number 3. About a 12, 13-second differential between game clock and play clock, so the Ruffers will have to snap the football. It's now down to 8, down to 7. Ficklin takes the snap, hands it off to Tolbert, try to change direction, come back across midfield into Spartan territory at the 48-yard line, and that'll be the end of the third quarter play. 3 quarters finished tonight here at Lee Snyder Stadium. Bixby doing what they've done their preceding 6 games of the year in the last 43 times, putting up a sizable number on the scoreboard and lead the Ruffers going to the final 12 minutes by the count of 56-7. Stay tuned. More Ruffer football comes your way in 30 seconds here on Ruffer Football 2021.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
Bill Huddleston along with Nick Hampton and our Ruffer TV crew. The girls doing a great job tonight, bringing you the sights and sounds of this contest, as the Muskogee Ruffers will have the football, 2nd down and 9 to begin the 4th quarter. Tonight here at Bixby, 1 week from tonight at S.E. Williams Stadium against the Hornets of Booker T. Washington in another all-important district contest.
Ruffers have exploited the little bubble screen against these Bixby reserves with some success here so far in this drive.
So now Ficklin in the pocket, throws it out in space to Jaden Bell. It slices between a defender, drags tacklers inside the 40, inside the 35. Let the bell toll. Jaden Bell to the 33-yard line. That's another Muskogee Ruffer, J. Hodge Chevrolet, 1st down and 10.
15 yards on the play, and the Ruffers marching down toward the red zone.
Trying to find a way to put points on this defensive group of the Bixby Spartans that on the year, Nick, has been averaging only 10 points a game, and only one team has scored more than 14 points. That was Jinx. They scored 15. So now Ficklin with Tolbert to his left. Swing it out in space. Okay, catch made by Isaiah Gibbons. Little shake and bake move inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That'll be a 4-yard pickup. And the play out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Ruffers must reach the 23 here in the 4th. Bell will be the single receiver, split wide outside the hash mark to the left. Trips go to the short side boundary right. Now there's a timeout taken as Muskogee doesn't see what they wanted in the play call. Timeout on the field, 10:40 left to go tonight from Lee Snyder Stadium in Bixby. Spartans 56, Muskogee 7. Back with more after this 30-second timeout on Ruffer Football 2021.
Having a good time is an American tradition, and at James Hodge, we're proud Americans. Now is the greatest time to get together, get out, and get away, no matter where the open road takes you. Your journey starts at James Hodge, an authentic part of Oklahoma for over 50 years. Get in a perfect ride at James Hodge Ford.
The James Hodge Ford Promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee, online at hodgeford.com.
Ten minutes, 40 seconds left to play here in tonight's contest. 56-7, Bixby. Ruffers got their only points on a 50-yard pass interception return by Walker Newton to begin the 3rd quarter. Spartans added 1 touchdown in that 3rd period. Ruffers came up with a goal line stand. Now here on a 2nd and 6. Ficklin going to roll, throw back underneath, caught and dropped, and boy, Talbert paid the price for it. He went up. He was kind of a defenseless receiver and got pummeled from behind.
He's slow getting
Caleb
up.
Rogers was the man that made the hit on the back of Braden Talbert, and Nick, he really got hit.
He's saying, hey, Jamarian, please don't throw the ball up
You're going to
high
throw
like
that
that.
bubble screen. Don't make me have to stand on my tiptoes to maybe have a chance at it. Just looking around 6A2 football, Nick, some updated scores for you. Choctaw has expanded their advantage over Sand Springs now in the third quarter. Yellow Jackets leading the Sandites 34-21 as Talbert's able to get up, and he'll make sure he's got the headgear and the mouthpiece and everything as he'll walk off the field.
His head's still there.
Bartlesville 35, Putnam City West 7. And Tulsa, Washington now has expanded its lead over Ponca City. Hornets leading the Wildcats 27-10. That game's moved into the fourth.
In 4A, Port Gibson Broken Bow still at it. Port Gibson's taking the lead back in that game in the third quarter, 24-20. Hilldale having no problems with Salisaw, 56-13 in the fourth.
So Tolbert to the sideline. I think he'll be
Johnson will replace him.
Octavian Johnson, the freshman talent in the rougher backfield, will come aboard. Caden McGee, the sophomore wideout, will be outside the numbers to the short side right. Trips wide to the left. Ficklin this time going to keep it, throw across the middle. Open is Watson at the 20. Ant-Man will be tackled and dropped to the field turf at about the 17-yard line. When all the action was coming left, Watson was going against the flow, and Ficklin delivered a strike. Good enough for a Jay Hodge. Muskogee Ruffer first down to Jay Hodge Chevrolet.
12 more yards for Watson on receiving tonight. Gives him 6 catches for 45 yards.
We'll be selecting our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game at the conclusion of tonight's broadcast. Johnson this time to the right hip. A bird. Ficklin marks out the signals. Hands it off to Johnson. Needing to block, to change direction. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue jerseys there to corral the rougher running back. Back up field at the 20. That'll be a loss of 3 on first down. You just can't tiptoe through the tulips. I didn't like that song when it was first released by Tiny Tim. No, don't even start.
No, I guess
you can't be Tiny Tim. Maybe
can't sing it quite that high now.
Kennedy McGee has the hairstyle of Tiny Tim. So it'll be second and 13 for Ficklin. Bird will take it, 3-step drop. Now being chased out of the pocket. Going to use his left arm, floated up for a grab. It's deflected away. Thrown it in the corner of the end zone intended for Caden McGee, but a good defensive effort that time by Bixby's Vin Dyer.
So third down now facing the Ruffers from the 20-yard line, as they certainly like to see about putting some more points on the board here in this game.
That last pass, Nick, didn't really have a lot of zip on it.
Yeah, if it had, it might have been completed, but it was floated enough that the defender was able to get over there and get a hand on it.
McGee and Watson will split to the right. Gibbons and Bell to the boundary left. Ficklin, protection in the pocket. Now steps up, dances to his right, looking to run or throw. He'll keep it, change direction, scamper free, has some running room at the 15. Changes, cuts back, and then slides to the turf at the 13-yard line. It was 3rd and 13. It'll now be 4th and what do we got? 4th and 6?
4th and 6, yep. That's right.
Got to go to the 7-yard line for the first down change. How about just going into the end zone here and score? Bell and Gibbons are to the left. Watson and McGee are to the right. Ficklin going to take the snap, roll to his left, throw upfield, looking for touchdown, Muskogee. Looking for Jaden Bell, who went in and then changed directions and went back outside. And the Birdman delivers on the 13-yard touchdown strike to Jaden Bell. Touchdown, James Hodge Ford.
That's a nice feeling. Get him up in double digits now.
I think that's a nice drive, too, by the Ruffers.
Yeah.
After taking the goal line stand, right?
That's right. 98 yards.
So now Skylar Onebear will try to add point number 14 for Muskogee. Snap is down, kicks on the way, splits the uprights with prowess. And the Ruffers have put a second 7 points up on the board and made it a 56-14 contest. Back with more Ruffer football after this 30-second timeout on Ruffer Football 2021.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, Social Security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton back with you at Lee Snyder Stadium. 17 plays, 98 yards. The touchdown toss, Jamarian Ficklin to Jaden Bell. One Bears PAT makes it a 56-14 contest. Nick, remember coming into the second half, I talked about just winning it one series at a time or win the second half, go out and play for 30 minutes or play for 24 minutes. Well, the Ruffers are doing that.
And that's one of the better drives, not only this game, but certainly of the year for the Ruffers, taking that time off the clock, yardage, and they just rolled it right down the field. Good running by Tolbert in there before he got hurt, and then the Bird man doing some good passing and running when he had to.
So now one Bear will put it on the tee for the ensuing kick. Bixby's going to win for the 44th time in a row. Little short pooch kick. Fielded at the 35, trying to find a running lane, and coming upfield on the return for Bixby was Rodrigo Romero. A lot of fresh faces out there for the Spartans. But Nick, they're used to playing second half football with the way the scores have been so lopsided all season long.
Well, that's one thing that is appealing to people about this Bixby team is even if you come in here and you're young, you definitely have a chance to get some varsity play because scores are so lopsided they use a lot of players.
1st and 10 for the Spartans from the 40-yard line. Handoff goes in traffic, and just following the masses up the field is J.D. Martin. Martin will pick up 5 on the first down carry. The clock will continue to run 8-10 and counting here in the 4th. Bixby 56, Muskogee 14. Ruffer scoreboard update brought to you by Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Now Twins go wide left. Hard count by Camden McCreary. Check the sideline as the play clock is down still with 14 seconds to go. Martin will take the exchange again. He'll stop dead in his tracks, and he'll be stood up and stopped. Might have got a forward progress upfield to the 46-yard line, but the Ruffers had defensive numbers in a hurry that trip. Arion Parrish, the 6'2", 312-pound sophomore defensive lineman, one of the first guys to grab on to Aiden Hill. So 3rd and 4 for the Spartans. Twins go outside the hash marks to the left. Play action. Quarterback going to keep it, and he'll cross the 45 and get out to near the midfield stripe. That's McCreary on the keeper.
He'll be a little bit short of the first down.
He's short of the first down as he stepped out of bounds at the 49, so it's 4th and a yard to go. Do the Spartans, I guess they do have a punter. We saw one punt, right?
Yep, we have it one punt. That's right.
So 4th and a yard for Bixby. Hard cadence. Ruffers don't bite for the bark of the quarterback, Camden McCreary. Hill off his left shoulder. Takes the handoff. Hit at the line of scrimmage, but then continues to fall forward. He'll cross midfield and pick up the first down marker to the 46-yard line.
First down, Bixby.
Ruffers had seemingly a shot on Hill, but couldn't finish the deal. So 1st and 10 for the red, white, and blue of Bixby. Hill to the right of the quarterback. Takes the handoff, cuts back up the middle of the field, and then will be corralled by the Ruffer defenders. That time getting there from Muskogee on the stop was Jelian Lockpour, who's in at a linebacker spot. Gain downfield from the 46 to the 43, a pickup of 3. As the Spartans content to try to employ their running game. Motion off the boundary, handed off, Hill coming to his right, corralled by Logan Elmore and company. It's spun to the turf. 2-yard pickup to the 41. Run for football this season brought to you in part by Mike Finnerty, attorney at law, by Kyle Edwards Buick, GMC, along with Serpro, Muskogee, and Red Dirt Production Services. Handoff again to Hill, dancing around in the backfield, and this time the Ruffers corral him. Devin Whitfield was the guy that kind of stood things up. Logan Elmore in on the bottom of the pile. No gain on the play, so the ball will be 4th down and we'll call it 6. As McCreary with a running back, Hill, right off his right hip. Twins go outside wide to the left.
Let's see if they'll try to pass here on 3rd and a little bit longer.
Running back up off the right shoulder. McCreary's going to keep the football. Ruffers on a blitz, come near side, can't control it, and able to get out of the boundary was McCreary. Ruffers shot the gap and just overran it, Nick. And McCreary with the blocker out in front, leading the way. That time was Des Traylor. And McCreary able to run for the first down stick, taking it all the way to the 33-yard line.
8-yard gain, good blocking out in front of him out there.
So now Gibbons will come in at a defensive back spot for the Ruffers. As the handoff will go again to Hill, and this time Hill, he met on the ankle tackle. His getting in that time was Ronald Warren. No gain on the play, maybe a yard to the 32. As the Spartans just using the ground game to their advantage.
4 minutes left to play.
High snap, throw it out in space, catch is made. Ruffers get over there and get a shoestring tackle. Walker Newton was the man making the tackle on the Spartan receiver.
No gain, I think. Still right at the 32-yard line.
Big, bright, white line, Nick, is down here in the southwest corner of the end zone that makes it a little difficult to see the scoreboard for me. But nevertheless, it'll be 3rd down and 9. Spartans with twin receivers to the right side. McCreary's going to call his own number. Deion Bowler will get up there first to take a shot at the Bixby quarterback and make the stop at the 29-yard line. That's where the Spartans will face a 4th down and 7. 3:10 in the clock running here in the 4th. Bixby 56-14. Spartans put up a 49-0 lead at halftime. Ruffers have won the second half 14-7. So now Aiden Hill as the running back with Camden McCreary, the senior signal caller. We'll have twins to the left side.
Play clock now inside 10 now.
McCreary check with me, can't get his running back to move up. Now down to 3 on the play count. McCreary is going to try to stretch the ball downfield. Ruffers are out there playing defense. Boy, there was a lot of hand checking going on that time as the Ruffer defensive back Aiden Kemp was masked up with the wide out. The ball falls to the turf, incomplete, and Muskogee will take over on downs. Little victories, Nick. That's what Travis Hill told his team coming in here tonight. Don't try to do it all by yourself. Don't try to do it all in one play. Just try to do it one play at a time and experience a little victory. And the Ruffers have had a little bit of that here in the second half, albeit not enough to get back into any type of contention.
Well, what would be nice, though, to put another score on the board, and that would make the most points scored against Bixby so far this year, if the Ruffers could do it.
Ruffers will have trips wide to the left with Ficklin in the pocket by himself. Underneath route, caught by Watson, 30. Ant turns upfield, 35. High steps out of a tackle across the 40 to the 43-yard line. 2:20 and counting here in the fourth quarter. That pass play good enough for a J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee Ruffer. First down and 10. A very tired Tion Brewer off the field. He's replaced in the offensive line by the easy-to-spot Wesley Harvey, 6'6", 230-pound sophomore. This time Ficklin with Tolbert to his left. Slings it out in space. Gibbons with a catch at the 40. Tries to change direction, and then he'll be steamrolled and dropped to the turf right at the line of scrimmage. Isaiah tried to come to his left and then stop on a dime and change direction, and just as he does, he gets pummeled by the defender for the Spartans, Brady Gresham. No gain on the play. Second down and 10. Clock now to 90 seconds here in the fourth. Gibbons and McGee will be the two receivers outside the formation along with Watson to the right. Bell by himself to the left. Ficklin grabs the snap with one hand, rifles a pass across the middle, intended for Jaden Bell. He can't hold on to it. The defender climbing over the top of the shoulders. Finn Dyer against Jaden Bell. Guarantee it, Nick. Jamarian Ficklin's going to need some ice on that left arm tonight because he's got a workout.
And probably other parts of his body, too, that have been on the ground quite a bit as well.
So now Caden McGee will be the far receiver out outside the hash mark. Gibbons inside the hash. Watson up the middle. Ficklin back in the pocket. Sees his receiver. Bell comes back to make the catch at the 45. He'll have the first down marker. Going to say stepped out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Just enough for a Muskogee rougher. J. Hodge Chevrolet rougher, first down and 10.
One nice thing with the subs in the game for Bixby is that they don't put as much pressure on Ficklin, so he's had a little more time to throw in this half.
Play clock will start immediately as they mark the ball ready for play. Ficklin will put Twins wide to the right. Bell by himself to the boundary left side. Ficklin in the pocket again. Going to throw the wheel route upfield. Taubert's the catch. Out of bounds. Right about the 35-yard line. Hustle to the line of scrimmage as the play clock doesn't stop. The game clock never did stop. The official's over here waving his arms feverishly. And Ruffers here may try to get some time put back on the clock, but I don't think they'll get that decision from the referee, Todd Ragsdale. But about an extra 8 or 9 seconds expired. First and 10 from the 25 or 35. Ficklin in the pocket, dances free, gets out on the edge, wants to square his shoulders, throw it for the end zone. It's up high, it's knocked away, incomplete.
Lucky there.
Trying to throw it to Anthony Watson, but it was in double coverage.
Very fortunate.
Ficklin could have scampered for a pretty good run, Nick.
He had a lot of room out there.
But the incomplete pass does stop the clock with 16 seconds to go. So you would like to think Muskogee would like to find some way of getting another touchdown on the board here. Although it's going to take some extra efforts with the ball at the 35-yard line. Second down and 10, maybe one, possibly two more plays depending upon the result.
See if the Spartans decide to blitz this time. They've been going to the three-man rush all this half.
Gibbons will join McGee and Watson to the right, Bell to the boundary left. Ficklin, again with time, gets outside the pocket, trying to find somebody open, squares his shoulders, throws it upfield, and this one is, again, incomplete. Clock stopped with 6.9 seconds left to go. That time, Bird was trying to fly around enough, Nick, to give his receivers a chance to get maybe an open shot.
He's going to be one tired puppy tonight after all this sprinting out and rolling out that he's had to do tonight to elude the rush.
So now with possibly one play remaining, Ruffers here might try to find the end zone. 4 deep coverage. Ficklin just going to air it out, looking for Watson down the field. The pass overthrown. It'll stop with 0.8 seconds left. It'll be fourth down in game.
So you look at this game and you've got to give the Ruffers some credit for this second half as they've come out. They were down 49-0, but they didn't quit. They came back, scored a couple of touchdowns, and albeit it's against the second and thirds for Bixby, but that's got to be a little bit of a moral bump for Muskogee, at least a morale booster.
It's going to be a very tired group of guys wearing the green and white when this game is done, though, Nick. Gibbons, Bell, and McGee will be to the left. Back in the pocket, Ficklin sets up, throws the deep ball, looking for Watson. He's just so tired he can't get outside the coverage. And the pass goes incomplete, and this game has come to a conclusion. Final score tonight after a 49-0 halftime lead built by Bixby. The Spartans can stand strong and flex their muscles as they will walk across the field for the handshake for the 44th consecutive time as victors, as Muskogee falls to the top-rated Spartans 56-14. Stay tuned. Our coverage of Rougher football continues. Our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game and more in our post-game show coming your way in 3 minutes on Rougher Football 2021.
Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Hi, welcome to Nissan of Muskogee.
Here in Muskogee, I mean, we're just 45 minutes from Tulsa, but us being family owned, I mean, like I said, the customers feel like family too.
What makes Nissan of Muskogee different? It's our people and a driving desire to surpass the expectations of our customers.
We care, and that's why they come to us.
Become a part of the family and let our people take care of you. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Ruffers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Ruffer Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
It's a time when uncertainty spreads faster than understanding. It's also a time when taking steps to prepare can help us all find a sense of security. At ServPro, helping our nation's homes, businesses, and shared spaces be more clean, be more safe, is why we're here. Here in your community, here to help.
Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Ruffers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a #1 priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Ruffers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, go Ruffers!
Welcome back to Lee Snyder Stadium, where tonight it's final. Bixby, for the 44th consecutive time, picks up victory here on their senior night, 56-14. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you on Ruffer Football 2021. Nick, I don't think the outcome's any surprise. Bixby started fast and finished the first half in a flurry, using the final 45 seconds to get their final first half touchdown. But then Muskogee with a pick six from Walker Newton and then a late touchdown pass from Ficklin to Bell. Play pretty much even though we do know it's against the seconds and thirds of the Spartans, but the Ruffers, you remember too, are also a very young football team. So you got to find some silver thread inside the haystack filled with thorns. Bixby showed why they are the team that they are, as they win it in impressive fashion, and the statistics pretty much bear that to be true.
They really do. For the Ruffers tonight, 20 rushes for just 55 yards on the ground for Muskogee. 19 of 40 total. Ficklin was 18 of 39. Bell was 1 of 1, so 19 of 40 passing for 203 yards. Muskogee 258 yards in total offense.
98 of that came on one drive there in the second half on the touchdown that finished it with Bell on the receiving end from Bird.
And the Ruffers were penalized 5 times for 53 yards. For Bixby, they rushed 46 times for 284 yards, 14 of 19 passes, 198 yards. So 482 yards in offense tonight for the Bixby Spartans. and they were penalized 5 times for 53 yards.
Blankenship was the leading ball carrier. Jalen Presley went out in the first quarter with an injury. We don't know any status on that injury, but that's got to be of some concern to head coach Lauren Montgomery and his staff.
Yeah.
Certainly we would hope that the state's premier athlete in the football ranks the injury would not be too severe, but still, nevertheless, Presley on the sideline. Spartans still with enough muscle to get the job done here tonight, 56-14. Nick, your overall assessment of tonight's contest.
Well, the first half was disastrous. I think that's about the only thing you can say, as Bixby just kind of scored at will and the Ruffers just couldn't get anything going. Albeit, as we said, they did play against reserves for a good part of that second half, but Muskogee came out, didn't give up, kept pushing, found a way, got a couple of touchdowns in that second half, and I think they go out of this game saying, yeah, we lost, but we didn't quit. We had good effort, and now let's go back and regroup and get ready for Washington.
We're going to take a quick timeout, a 1-minute timeout. When we return, we'll name our Buffalo Wild Wings Ruffers of the Night. Right after this 1-minute timeout in our post-game coverage of Ruffer Football 2021.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Welcome back to Lee Snyder Stadium here in the post-game coverage of Ruffer Football 2021. You can find a lot of heroes of the night for Bixby Spartans. 3 different quarterbacks helping guide this offense. Blankenship at a running back spot, getting a majority of the work, Nick, along with Aiden Hill. Defense that did its job for the Spartans as they win their 44th consecutive game in a row, 56-14 over the Muskogee Ruffers. But our job here in the post-game show is to select our Buffalo Wild Wings Ruffer players of the game. And I know you've got a guy that you really like for his offensive efforts here tonight.
Well, especially in that second half. Anthony Watson was just there. He good hands, steady play, ends up with 7 receptions on the night for 59 yards. Not huge numbers, but they were consistent, and he was really, I thought, a spark plug for the Ruffers in that second half.
Over on the defensive side, of course, the Ruffers had a big play from Walker Newton, which I think as far as impact, you would have to say that pick 6 earns Walker Newton the Defensive Player of the Game awards. But I think we would be remiss, Nick, if we did not mention the offensive line, who tonight playing without 3 starters was kind of a makeshift front 5. Tion Brewer, Keenan Adams, James Moore, Devin Whitfield, and Jace Garrett. I mean, you had Keyshawn Lee, Braden Henry, and Vernon Pepiakati, 3 of your normal 5 starters in the trenches on the sideline with injuries. But tonight, the offensive line did what they could do to allow Jamarian Ficklin time to throw the football, and then the bird flew around out of the nest. He was being chased by the Hawks.
Well, and I think they knew that was going to happen. I think that was part of the game plan, was that, we're going to have to sprint him out to keep him away from some of the pressure.
Anthony Watson and Walker Newton, our Buffalo Wild Wings players of the game. Again, thanks to our video production crew doing an outstanding job of bringing the sights and sounds of tonight's contest. For Nick Hampton, I'm Bill Huddleston. Again, the final score, Bixby, 44th consecutive victory as the Ruffers will drop to 2-6 on the season and come back and prepare for next week's game at S.E. Williams Stadium against the Hornets of Booker T. Washington. Bixby 56, Muskogee 14. In victory as well as in defeat, it's always a great day to be a Ruffer. I'm Bill Huddleston saying so long. We'll see you next Friday night on Ruffer Football.